Ford Video Guy Studio in Salina, Kansas, it's McArthur Live with Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis. For all the information on ordering and production, Ford news, recalls, debunking all the fake news on social media, and whatever's on their mind, here's your hosts, Tim and Sarah. Welcome in, everybody. We changed clothes really quick right there in just a second. How's everybody doing here? Niles, we're going to have to do that drone footage like live every week. How about that?
Oh, it's raining here, by the way.
It is raining here. Yes. My clothes are still trying to get dry from being outside earlier. Hope everybody's having a great day. This is episode 146 are we on? I don't know. We're up over 145, I think. 146, I believe. Those of you listening to the podcast, you'll know that because it says what episode it is. So hope you guys enjoy us. And don't forget, if you are watching this live with us, we do have this as a podcast. If you're listening to the podcast, you definitely want to check out the live stream. Down in the show notes, you're going to have the link to the live stream from YouTube, because during the On My Mind, we have a lot of images from Carlisle. We're going to get into that in just a little bit. And I know we might get some extra people in here this week. Really missed a good time, it looks like.
Yeah.
So it looks like they had a blast, and got a chance to look. I'm actually a little jealous. I got a chance to talk to Ford Performance and talk a little bit about things they want and they're looking for on their Mavericks.
Yeah.
And I heard a little quote where they was like, can't talk about future products. It's like, oh my gosh. That is like first thing they learn in Ford headquarters or Ford whatever they call it. Higher ups. Administration.
Ford media. Anyone that wants to be on camera or have anything to do with
the public
Ford,
at all.
That is the key slogan that you have to learn first and foremost.
Let's make a shirt. Speaking of merch, we have merch available, but I think we should make a shirt that says Ford Video Guy and says, I can't talk about future products.
Yeah.
Even the first thing is that I don't know about future products. Somebody actually kind of roasted me a little bit on the comments of yesterday's video for the Maverick, because they said that you said that months ago. I don't know much, and now you're saying you don't know much either. So what's the point of this video? It's like
Ford doesn't
I get
tell
it,
us much.
but it's at least we can talk about the excitement, and at least I'm not putting out their fake news like some of those YouTube channels that put together this little video with AI generated audio and everything that tells you things that aren't true. So anyway, all right, we'll talk a little bit about Maverick tonight. We'll talk about Bronco Sport a little bit. Something was revealed today. I don't even think I had time to share with you. We'll bring that up in part of the Is It True? We'll get into scheduling, all that good stuff. But first, how did your weekend go? Do anything fun?
Good. Well, we were on vacation.
Yes, you're on vacation last week.
Yeah.
We had Niles here who filled in pretty good.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were like, they wanted Sarah too. So I would just have to get all three of us on here, because I think we all have some great value, because we had some good discussion.
Different to it.
Yeah. Niles and I, we had a pretty good discussion about Ford Pass, which is really good because now I had a chance to use the Ford Pass app, unlike myself. So it was really good. So it was nice having him in there. Let's see here. It
was fun though. We had we were supposed to work on the house to get some projects done. Instead, we sat around the house and watched movies. Much needed break from doing everything.
We went over to the Abilene, Kansas, which is the home of Dwight D. Eisenhower, right? Eisenhower.
Yes,
right.
Eisenhower.
And they did the Salina Symphony was there and playing, and they did a D-Day kind of little not celebration, but commemorative concert type thing. And it was really good. Went over there and did that Saturday night. I worked until about 5:30 Saturday, but Saturday night we went over there and enjoyed that. And then Sunday I did this.
He did it. He's been talking about it. He did it.
I did this. So the video's not live yet. So
we went to go to the park. Mom's like, he's doing something else to his Bronco, I guess. I'm like, what's he doing now? I thought it was
her Bronco.
She's like, I don't know.
So this is the Mountains to Metal attic tray, and it sets in the roof line, like right where the roll bar is, right there. You can see the lights. Actually, it sets level, like flush with that, so you can see right underneath it out the back. But then you can pull these levers, and it pops down, and I can put all the stuff down there that get it out of the cargo areas. You can see down below. Normally would have my cooler in there, and then I got the compressor, but other than that, there's nothing else. And then everything is on here. So my tie downs, my the wire there for the controls for the winch, my tool bag that I've my non-Ford tool bag, and then my tow rope there from Roush, and then I actually have a couple other things in there. So there you go. I did an install video on that because nobody really has done one. So hush, hush, don't tell anybody that it's coming, because I don't want anybody else to beat me to the punch. But I think it's a really good install video that I did on that, because there's some people that did it, and it's really difficult to see because of you can install that without removing your cloth or hardtop if you want. The only problem is it's really hard to get in there because you got to bolt something down to the top of the roll bar. Because of my cloth top, I was able to, without taking it off completely, take it completely back and get really good angles of where those go on, how the bolts are done, and everything else. And I think because of that, that'll be a really good install video for them to be able to use until they come up with their own install video. But their instructions were fabulous, and it was so easy to install. And I like it. I think I'm gonna like it for a while. First mountain to metal product I put on the Bronco, and yeah, so I have a video coming out on that. I have a video before that though that I'm still working on editing, so I'm like 2 videos behind on my personal channel, but that's coming too. So anyway, so that's what I did this weekend. So yeah, should have been mowing the yard, but I was doing that instead.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'll mow the yard sometime. Now it's raining, so.
Yeah, Levo mowed the lawn on when was that? Friday, I think. He mowed the lawn and then it downpoured like an hour later.
We did that last time. All right. Anyway, let's see here. What else we got going on? Talked about that. Don't forget our merch site. I do have a website that has most of that stuff, which Jeff is going to have to get pictures of that once we get that going, once I get that video live. Maverick Monday video yesterday on the just kind of talked a little bit more of, we talked about the interior, what screen you should expect for the 25 Maverick, but then also we talked about, hey, here's some other things, because we haven't talked about on Maverick Monday yet some of the different spy photos that come out recently, including a vehicle out that had 2 badgings on it, a hybrid and an all-wheel drive badging. So we talked about that, and I really don't know whether or not it's coming to 25, but I assume since a vehicle already has the 2 badges on it, that it probably is coming, is my thought on it, because they wouldn't just have that out there. I mean, they would, if it's still like in works, they wouldn't have badged it up yet. It'd just be unbadged, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. So, and this is, we keep seeing it on Lariat trim vehicles, and we keep seeing that with the front sensing system, which we haven't seen on a Maverick yet, as well as 360-degree camera. We're noticing that as well.
Yes.
And a different grill on that one, so which I like better than the other grills. So anyway, just personal preference there. But anyway, we'll see that coming out. I don't know. Hopefully we get some news pretty soon. We're all like itching for it. We're like ready. I think a lot of people want to know if that front fascia is going to be, if that's what it's going to look like. That little coming up on the front bumper, going up into the headlights. I don't know. People don't like it. I don't know. Some people like, I might get used to it eventually, but there we go. Anyway, let's see what else. Upcoming videos. Last week we talked about Ford Pass app. There's some things we want to show. Okay, normally you do this in the Ford Pass app, but here's how you can do it now until it's available again in the Ford Pass app. Yeah. So, and then I'll even talk about, I think in the Ford Pass app, where you can find where your mileage is, your tire pressure, all that. Because we even I didn't realize where it was at. We found out last week on live stream when Niles and I were on. So anyway, all right. Before we get into that, mail call. I got 2, and
Mail call.
Next week I should have a couple more. I got one here that you'll really like. This one here is from Jessica from Texas, Laredo, Texas.
Laredo.
So she is on Instagram.
I've always loved saying Laredo.
She's on Instagram as Furiosa, _the_Bronco. So if you want to do a swap with her, She's willing to do a swap. So pretty cool. Got the Texas flag there. Also got this one here. That's a pretty cool sticker. So there we go. And then it says, "Thank you for swapping with me. Enjoy the adventure and make your own way." I kind of did that last week on purpose. The dirtier, the better. It got dirty. And then she also included a shark sticker. So there you go. And then we have Kaylee from Tennessee, Crossville. I think we actually was close to that when we went to Carlisle, or not Carlisle.
Carlisle.
Thinking of Carlisle here, but when we went to Townsend, Tennessee, I think that's pretty close to there. No, I think we went. I don't know. Anywhere, I was close to there at some point. Says, "Hey Tim, thanks for the swap. Happy trails, Kaylee and Stitch." So they call their Bronco Stitch the Bronco. They got an Area 51. It looks like.
I always called my Maverick with Area 51 paint.
So they got
Stitch.
some Stitch stickers. Sarah really loves Stitch, in case you guys want to know. But there's one with the Bronco and Stitch. That's pretty cool. And then there's their
shiny,
whatever that's called.
Holographic.
Yes. And then there's that sticker. And then this in here. I like it. Squatch It, which we're actually going to probably put on. Snips sent and get me this last year at Maverick meetup. Last year, we're probably going to put that sucker right on there here later. So anyway, there we go. So
which if you're in the chat and you talk to Snips, she made these cups.
Yeah.
Mine has a C-Max on it because I drive a C-Max.
There you go. Pretty cool. Even says Bartz on the tag on there. Just kind of cool. Which I don't have to have a tag in Kansas, but front tag. But there you go.
Oh, it's cold in here.
So what's in the cup? You guys got to figure that out. Put it in the chat. All right. Okay. But what else are we going to talk about, Sarah? How to become a member.
Yes. If you'd like to become a member, it is right there beside the subscribe button. You just hit join. It'll pop up with all of the benefits you get as a member. If you're an iPhone user, you may have to do things a little bit differently. You may have to go to your web browser, go up to the little A and big A, and request desktop browser. At that point, you should be able to see it. As members, you get to see content, member-only content. For instance, a live stream on Fridays and lot walks on Saturday. We use it like a blog, so if we're on a trip, we might post something a little bit special for the members. Tim tends to talk about topics for the next week.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. Fridays usually is where we've gotten inspiration for some videos.
Yeah.
So from those.
Saturday's just him talking to himself, but if he's talking into a video, he's not really talking to himself.
Yeah. But I have a couple times on the lot walk, we have a walk and talk, and I usually bring something up that's on my mind or whatever, or a rant. It might be a rant session, but it's fun. But yeah, plus we send out merch too. Yeah. Just a little thank you, a notepad, and some koozies for you. So definitely want to make sure you get your address to us. And Sarah will try to make it a top post. Can you pin that post to the top?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe we should just pin it to the top, where we have a Google Drive where you can drop in your address and such for us, just for us. And not everybody sees it, just for us. And it's not to market. It is just to get the stuff to you. Sometimes if we have your number and we want to reach out to you, then we can call or text or whatever. And a lot of the members do have my personal number, so we can, text or chat or call if you need anything. So anyway, all right. Yeah, we have a lot of fun with our members, and they get to see videos earlier than everybody else, just a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot earlier. Depends on if I want to schedule it out in advance, then I'll just drop it, and then everybody else gets to see it, later. So let's see. All right. And don't forget about some of the channels that we like to watch and support. Alternate Nation, they were back live last night, so we watched them. They were talking about a Bronco event. I mean, Michigan has a lot of fun Bronco events, because the Michigan Bronco Club they do a really good job of doing events and everything. I'm sure some of those are kind of helped by Ford a little bit,
Mhm.
but I'm sure because the more Broncos out and moving and doing things that I'm sure they can film and put it out there. I'm just saying, probably helps them out. And when all those people are already there in Detroit, it's probably a lot easier
Yeah.
for doing them to do events there. But anyway, but they have several events coming up. So I know Bronco Stampede. I don't even know where that's at or when it's. They said it was in August, I think, or something. But anyway, but we got
Yeah.
a couple weeks. We're going to be in Maine, New Hampshire,
Yes.
Dealer Off Rodeo.
What was that,
That'll be
2
fun.
weeks? Yep.
Couple weeks.
2 weeks.
So anyway, speaking of that, one of the other channels we like to watch is Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, and I don't know if he's going to be there or not, but he's thinking about maybe he could because he's not really that far
That'd be awesome.
from Canada down to there. It's only like an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Yeah, meet him.
These states over there in the East Coast, they're just you guys are all like close together. So it's like you could just jump from one state to another in like a day. It's like what?
In like the time it takes for us to get from here to Kansas City.
I know you're like 2 states away.
Mm-hmm.
For us, it's like.
It's much like Europe. And those were the original colonies were up there. So they tended to be a bit more condensed like Europe is. But then as they spread out, they're like, we can't make these into tiny little colonies.
I just want to take a couple weeks and I want to go up to Maine and I just want to go through all the states going down to Florida and then then do all the states down along the coast. You know, the Mississippi and Georgia and all those across, and then come up from Texas.
Yeah. Lebo said next year he wants our main vacation to be a trip to Lake Tahoe. We'll drive out there, of course. It's 18 hours. If we make it to Pennsylvania, we can make it to Lake Tahoe. And we'll have a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old then. Or no,
well,
5-year-old and 3-year-old.
Is Lake Tahoe in Utah?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it's on the border of Nevada and California. So it's on the other side of Nevada from Utah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, don't go much that way either. All right. Well, anyway, all the Midwest states are like spread out. So like Missouri's big. We got Kansas is how far? What are we? We're mile marker 250 and we're right in the middle.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you, it's like 500 miles across to Kansas if you're going east to west.
Yeah.
It's a long drive. Anyway.
Sarah wins the geography course for today. I only know that because someone else asked me the same question.
What's that on the
Nevada? Is that Nevada or Utah or wherever?
Salt Lake City's in Utah. I think that's what I was thinking of. All right. Okay. Let's see what else we need to get into. All that good stuff. Let's do a shout out to members then.
Yeah.
You got them all tagged there?
I got most of them tagged. I got almost all of them tagged.
We'll go with it.
All right. So we're going to start off. We have a new member, Ronald Smith.
Saw that at 1:45 this afternoon on this live stream. And became a member.
Yeah. Mabson tagged in. Had to be there since Tim called me out in the Maverick Monday video. I'm ready to get Rowdy Niles and find out what's in that cup.
Real quick. Do you know why I used his Maverick as the thumbnail for the live stream?
Does anyone know?
Anyone know? Let's see if you can figure it out while we go on. Suspense is killing everybody.
We have VTech here. It's not even 8 and it's busy here. We have Niles Gridley. He is one of our moderators and he is after our aftermarket specialist. So if you have any aftermarket questions, go ahead and tag at Niles Gridley. He says, howdy, let's get rowdy. What's in that cup? By the way, our members do get special emojis. So you can see Niles, if you actually look in the chat, it has cup emojis. But the emoji is named WITC, which is what's in that cup.
What's in Tim's cup, I think.
What's in that cup or what's in Tim's cup? They both work.
Thing. They work.
We have Ray Robbins. Let's see. I had one of our other moderator. Where is it? I did not get our other moderator tagged. We have Ridgeview here. He is our other moderator, and he just keeps everyone PG. He's wonderful and helps us out quite a bit. Yes. In the membership photo, that if you watch our intro, Ridgeview is there waving. And Niles is our drone specialist as well.
He's also the little slide that we use.
For the member slide. He is in there with his wife. All right. Who else we got in here? We have Anthony. Yep. Ridgeview was on pretty early. He gets in here, what, 4?
I don't know. About an hour.
Not 4 o'clock. That would be 7 or 6 o'clock. Brian Foster says hello. We have Ghosting. Good evening, everyone. Donald Rash is here. Gino Abbing. Hello, fellow Ford freaks. We have Elizabeth. Hey, everyone. Mike M. Hello from very soggy Oak Ridge, Tennessee, at Ridgeview and McArthur. We have Jack Evans. Hello to everyone. All settled in and ready for Tim and Sarah. Christopher Scholes. Loving the Bronco heritage. Thanks again for all your help.
All right. Yeah.
Douglas Blair says, Sarah has the blues. I do indeed. Hello from OKC. Hoping we dodge the storms tonight. They're hitting us right now. So
it downpoured earlier. So that was a lot of fun. I think I talked about them in the members, but so what was it? Friday, it downpoured. I don't know if you were here, but
yes,
we went down to Ohio. It was coming down, and it was so fast that the water couldn't get into the drains fast enough.
Okay, so I was out getting pizza.
Were you on Ohio, though? It was like bad.
No, I was on Broadway. It was splashing up over the top of my car.
Yeah, it was.
I couldn't see.
Well, you're supposed to slow down a little bit in the water there, Sarah.
I did slow down.
The Maverick trimmer had no problems at all. It was pretty awesome. And so I got home. I said, I probably should tell Jeff because he hadn't left work yet. And I said, I probably should tell him and maybe have him go another route. And I said, wait a minute. You're in an electric vehicle. You're fine. Just stay in the left lane. You're good. And he was like, did just fine. He said, I could feel the water on my feet under the bottom. But that, the battery, it helps weight it down in the water. I mean, so I was like, yeah, you're fine. You don't have to worry about it stalling out on you.
Yeah. Yeah. So Broadway gets really, really bad. And I didn't realize how bad it had gotten so quickly. And so I didn't realize how deep the puddles were. And I went through it and went over the top of my car.
Yeah, you should never go into water if you don't know how deep it is.
I was gauging by the vehicle next to me.
She'll learn at Bronco Off Rodeo. She'll learn. We'll learn at Bronco Off Rodeo a little bit about that. I also know that
road. I drive that road every single day.
Well, they'll teach you the proper way of going into water with a vehicle.
All right, we have Bud Guy 8829. Hello. We have Bucko. Good evening, everyone. Mike M says you went through Crossville on the way to Townsend. It's 50 miles west of Knoxville city limits.
That's real close to where the big cross is.
Before you get to Buc-ee's.
Yes.
How long before the Stitch stickers find their way to Sarah's Yeti?
They're gonna probably find their way to her wall.
Yeah.
Yep. I usually do. If you guys send like multiples for me, I usually do give Sarah one. So she'll get those. She'll get the Stitch one over here. She'll get that one with the Bronco and Stitch. And probably that one. The other one.
The ukulele.
Yeah, probably that one too. All right.
All right. We have Terry McGee. Good evening, all. Anthony Spraccio. We have Alan. He said he would meet us at Lake Tahoe. Turns out my husband was like, we have to stay at this specific campsite near this bike shop because someone I went to high school with owns it.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I thought you were going to tell me it was haunted or something.
No, he knows the person that owns the bike
shop. Part
of
some book from, what's his name?
It would be great to do that to him, though.
You should pull in and go, oh, yeah, this is the campsite that's haunted. Oh, that, yeah.
We have...
he doesn't watch the stream either. So.
No, he doesn't. We have Mike M. 30 months. I had a Ranger at start, then Bronco Sport, Maverick Hybrid, and now Mustang convertible, all Fords. Thank you, Tim and Sarah. So he's had since he's been a member in 30 months, he's had a Ranger, a Bronco Sport, a Maverick Hybrid, and now a Mustang convertible.
I don't remember the Ranger. I knew about the Bronco. The others.
I don't think we'll make it back to Carlisle next year, Kim. We're headed to Lake Tahoe. Husband's choice. I chose Buena Vista this year and Carlisle the year before that. So he chooses Lake Tahoe.
Your mom and I are thinking Hawaii for our 30th anniversary.
Ooh.
But we could still get back to Carlisle because Carlisle is like the 5th to 6th.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's a lot. It's into June further, so it's not the 1st. So we can hit our anniversary and then a week later go do that. So
yeah. So Kim Day Bourbon's actually in here.
Yes, I saw it.
She said, "Long-time listener, first-time caller, first-time chatter."
We got a special video from her husband.
Yeah.
That we're gonna watch. Without the audio though. Sorry, I just don't want to get that stream.
Mm-hmm.
On YouTube.
Let's see. I'm seeing if I missed anyone while I was doing this. We have Mid-Coast Maine.
There we go. I don't know if we'll see him when we go up there or not, but he went to Carlisle.
Yeah.
I saw that. Mab Sim did too.
Yeah. Do we go mudding? I don't know of any places around here.
I do now. I got a video coming on that.
Okay. Okay.
On the Bronco. We did a little mudding.
Yeah.
Right after it rained.
Oh, okay.
Up at Tuttle Creek.
Yeah.
Down in the little, I don't know what they call it. Marsh area.
There's only certain places where you can go off-roading around here. Otherwise, you're in fields, and farmers don't really like it if you're mudding in their fields.
Although when the Maki GG rally, we might be going through our field over here. Derek and I might be.
Yeah.
Have a little fun.
You know, Alan, we might head over to Oregon. I've always wanted to see Crater Lake. I'm
going to retire and just drive from event to event. I said that. I said, I just need to retire and go to all events during the summer. Yeah. Can I work just like, October through April and then just take the second half of the half of the year off? That's what I want to do.
Yeah. So Carlisle has so many vehicle goings on because they have a very large, and I'm not sure the history of it, but
Carlisle events.
They do have a very large field for it. They got established very early on and started it up. I know they
do all the different brands. Yeah. So the Ford Nationals, they have
I think what
Chevy.
Makes them singled out is that they do one big car show, but they do like the classics. They do the Chevy. They do Ford and Lincoln. Yep. They kind of make it a specialized, so people that are all Ford lovers can go to the Ford show, while those that love the classics can go to the classic show. So they kind of specialize it so that it's a bigger event that more people want to come to.
Yep.
We have Let's Sled.
Yeah, we have a pretty big one too.
That used to hop around, but it found its
Wow, how many cars we
get?
Got a bunch.
1,000, 2,000.
Yeah, we got a lot come through. All right. Anyway, all right. What else we got? Any other members?
That is all I found.
And for those that we missed, welcome in. All right. Okay. All right. Well, we need to get to moving along here. We got good dealer moment. Do you have one of those?
I sure do.
All right.
I went on vacation and all of a sudden I have 20 of them in here.
Well, good. Last week we had someone that shared it in the chat, so it worked because I was like, I don't know where it's at. So.
All right. So this one is Ennis. ENNIS Ford. Ennis Ford in Ennis, Texas. They allowed me to order with no down payment, no high pressure sales, took the Farm Bureau rebate off the top for a cash sale. Overall, great experience. So if you're in the Ennis, Texas area, Ennis Ford, and Jody Todd was their sales representative.
Pretty cool.
So go check them out.
All right. Okay. I think I have good dealer moments here to go over. And do. They're not good dealer. I mean,
Dealer
scheduling
news.
notes. So we'll get into scheduling notes for those of you coming in on all the Carlisle fun. It usually will happen around 8. So hopefully you guys don't mind sitting around and going through this. 'Cause we're going to go through scheduling notes and just a few dealer news updates and a few recalls.
Mm-hmm.
One of them actually does include the Maverick.
And I'll back off my microphone, let him take his, and I'm going to be in the chat.
If you have any questions about scheduling, though, drop them down and tag Sarah so that we can go ahead and answer those live right after the scheduling. And we'll go over that, and then we'll kick through the others, and then we'll get into all the other good stuff as well after that. So, all right. Let's see if we can do this fluid here. Where are we at? Scheduling. Here we go. All right. So we're going to talk about some scheduling information for this week. And I know we are into June, but we are still working off May's allocations for your dealers. So that's why you're going to find some models that aren't scheduled this week. And it's not because we're into June scheduling and they're not planning to. It's that we're still working on May's allocations for scheduling in those dates in July. So we're still working on that. So last week we kind of talked about some notes for the month of June scheduling for August production, that those will not start until next week. So let's go ahead and first off start about the terminology. And we do have some typos in here. I forgot to get with Jeff and get this fixed, but we got a couple typos in here. So luckily, I think it was Brian that clued me in. I saw one last week, but we had a couple typos in here. All right. So we do right here. So order banks is what we're talking about, is these retail orders. They're placed in an order bank by the dealer. So you're ordering from the dealer, and the dealer is ordering from Ford, and they do that, and they put those orders in the order bank. A retail order is a customer placed order. Ford likes to know that it's a retail order because then they can prioritize that order, and it does get a higher priority. And then also we do have stock orders, or orders placed by the dealer for stock or lot inventory. Priority code, a priority, that's where one of our typos is. Priority is given to orders by the dealer, 03 to 19 for retail, 20 to 80 for stock. The lower, the better. Scheduling, that's when Ford schedules an order for production dates in future months. Production date, that is when Ford plans to build your vehicle or your order, basically. An allocation, Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. A dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. Dealer earns allocations from their sales. That's another typo, for each model within their region. All right, so now there's also something we like to call constraints. You'll probably hear us talk about that. That is where an option may be in short supply or may take longer for it to be built. And then capacity, that is the planned production rate for a given motor, trim, and option. Those two terminologies go hand in hand. Capacity, like on a Super Duty F450, is very low. Only about 2% of the Super Duties built are 450s, and because of that, it takes longer for those 450s to get scheduled for production. Job 1 and 2, Ford will split that into two different job runs within a model year, and that's because if they want to introduce something new, they'll do that in a job 2, like they've done with Bronco, they've done with Ranger, they've done with F-150, and then balance out, that's the end of production or the balance out for a particular option or whatever it might be. So basically like the Edge right now is balanced out forever, actually. So, all right. So let's get into this. We might bring more of that into it, but again, kind of that's some of the terminology right there. So 24 model year Mustang is the first one we're going to talk about. The order banks are open up for about all trim levels with the exception of the Dark Horse. The Dark Horse is now closed. Now it's still open for stock. So if a dealer gets an allocation that they didn't plan on and they don't already have a retail order in there, since the retail order banks are closed, they can still place that stock order for that customer. And then when it comes in, they just need to know that that was for that customer. There's currently 953 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are not scheduling this week and for anything. And just kind of let you know, probably the biggest constraint of anything in the Mustang is the black painted roof. If you have that, just keep that in mind. And I'm going to go through on all these just because we do have numbers now for May production and sales. In the month of May, they produced 5,440 Mustangs in May, and they sold 3,559 vehicle sales or Mustang sales in May. So next is the 24 model year Escape. The order banks are closing on June 6th. 2 days. They are closing the order banks for, it says for plug-in and hybrid. It does not say for the other ones, but I've been told that their order banks are going to be closing for all Escapes coming up. Now, stocks will stay open. So if you're somebody out there and like, oh, I wanted to place an order, they can still place it as a stock order for you after that. Currently 301 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are not scheduling this week for any build dates. May production, they produced 19,784 Escapes in the month of May, and Ford sold 14,076 Escapes in May. Next is the 24 model year Bronco Sport. The order banks are open up for all trim levels right now. It's not closed. They currently have 142 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank, so not too many. They are scheduling this week for production weeks July 1st through July 15th. So the first half of the month, for some reason, it is cleanup scheduling, which means that your dealer needs an allocation. So what they're trying to do is clean up any leftover allocations a dealer might have. And they might have that left over because they don't have a stock order put in the system. So then Ford won't be able to schedule a stock if there's not a retail. So they're letting dealers know, hey, we want to clean that up. You need to put in a stock order so we can fill the allocation that we're giving you. Now, if there's a retail order in there, it's always going to try to select that retail order. But if it's a configuration which is limited, like we're going to talk about in just a second, then they need to look for a different order. So sometimes that's why you might see where a dealer has an allocation and a stock gets scheduled instead of retail. It's because they don't have a retail order, the configuration that they need to fulfill the rest of their production for that month. So limited availability on the Bronco Sport for the Big Bend series. Also the convenience package, which is optional on the Big Bend and the freewheeling. The black appearance package, which is optional on the Big Bend series only. So I think it's saying which is only on the Big Bend. So the black appearance package evidently on the Outer Banks is okay. Maybe I'm thinking of a different package. Sorry, never nix that idea. And the wheel, 18-inch machine face aluminum ebony black painted wheel. That's the one that's standard on the Outer Banks, is limited. The tire, the 225/65 R17, the all season that is standard on the Big Bend, as well as the 17-inch carbonized gray painted low gloss wheel. That's the optional one on the Badlands, and the power moonroof, which is optional on all versions. And then exhaust availability is the tech package, which is optional on Outer Banks. So doesn't leave a lot of configurations there, but Badlands really wasn't noticed. If you go with the standard wheel, Badlands can actually look like it could get scheduled because it's not limited availability or exhausted in any aspect. So that might be a way to go. All right. Next up, 24 model year Bronco. The order banks are open up for most trim levels. Let me go through the ones that are closed currently. The Heritage 4-door, the regular Heritage Edition 4-door is closed. The Heritage Limited Edition 2-door and 4-door is closed. In fact, the Heritage Limited 4-door is balanced out. They're not gonna schedule any more for production for 4-door. They're just looking at 2-door Heritage Limiteds right now. And again, a dealer needs a special limited Heritage Limited allocation to get that scheduled. Now, Heritage Edition, those they're using regular Bronco allocations for those, as well as Everglades. Raptor does have its own special allocation that's given to dealers for Raptor scheduling. So one of the things you'll notice is starting last week that the order banks are open up for the Heritage 2-door. That's the regular Heritage, not the limited. That's opened up for retail ordering. So, and it's those are also open up for stock ordering. So there you go. There's currently 1,447 unscheduled retail orders in order bank. They are not scheduling this week. There's an important note in here. It says Heritage Limited balance out for 4-door Heritage Limited balanced out for 24 model year. We just talked about that. Please be advised that due to Bronco's transition from Job 1 to Job 2, the 2.7 liter engine will no longer be available on the new Outer Banks orders. So if the order was already in there, you're good. You can leave it on there. And new orders for Job 2 were not available to be ordered with the 2.7 liter engine for both retail and stock, it says. Existing retail orders with the 2.7 will be built, it says. That's if they're already scheduled, from what I understand. Also, the new 33-inch mud-terrain tires will not be available on the Badlands version, even though they said it would be. So, things change. All right, moving on. 24 model year Mustang Mach-E. The order banks are open up. They are on job 2 now, so all those changes are available to that. So you can order GT, Premium Select, GT Rally. I forgot to mention, going back, sorry. I'm going to go back to Bronco for a second. And I forgot to mention Bronco Sport. We'll talk about both Bronco products here. In the month of May, Ford produced 16,999 Bronco Sports and sold 9,933. On the Bronco at Michigan Assembly Plant, they produced 11,817 Broncos, and Ford sold 9,679 Broncos in the month of May. All right, now moving on to 24 model year Mach-E. Order banks are open up. There's currently 43 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are not scheduling this week. And last month, Ford made or produced 6,714 Mach-E's, including mine, and they sold 4,255. Probably most of those 23 model years, I would assume. But all right, that's all I have on that. No other constraints or anything mentioning on the Mach-E. Moving on, 24 model year Explorer. Order banks are open up for the Explorer, all trim levels. There's currently 374 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are not scheduling this week. No constraints, no notes here since they're not scheduling. So just so you know, May production for the Explorer was 8,442, and those were 25 model years, by the way. And for sales, most of those, of course, all of them would be the 24 model year. For May, they sold 16,728 Explorers in the month of May. There you go. All right, moving on. 24 model year Expedition. Order banks are open up for all trim levels of the Expedition. There's currently 340 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are not scheduling this week. For production in May, they produced 8,722 Expeditions at the Kentucky Truck Plant, and Ford sold 7,892 vehicles. So, all right, next up, 24 model year Maverick. Order banks are open up for the Maverick, all trim levels, retail and stock ordering. There's currently 7,686 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduling this week. So they're scheduling for the weeks of July 1st through July 15th, just like Bronco Sport. Note in here, cleanup scheduling. Again, a dealer needs an allocation to get an order scheduled. If they don't have the configuration looking for as a retail order, they're going to be looking for stock orders. So that's why you're probably going to see maybe some stock ones getting scheduled when there's still retails out there. Limited availability for these options. The 2.0 liter EcoBoost engine, believe it or not, that is limited availability. The front wheel drive, it says, there you go. The bed liner, spray and bed liner, that's optional on the XL and XLT. Remember, that's on the XLT luxury package. It's automatically a drop in, so it wouldn't affect that order, or it wouldn't affect your Lariat package. It's just talking about the optional spray and bed liner here. Also, limited availability for the pickup, the Tonneau pickup box cover hard trifold. I've always said keep that off your orders. And then also the tire that's standard on the XL and XLT only is also limited availability. Exhaust availability for the XL trim, so they're probably not looking for that. Doesn't mean any XLs will get scheduled. It's just probably won't happen. Black appearance package as well, which is optional on XLT and Lariat series. The modular hard drop-in bed liner, that's the optional one. The splash guards, which I've again said leave that off your orders. The bed extender, again, leave off your orders. No reason to have that on there. 17-inch carbonized gray painted aluminum wheel, which is standard on XLT, as well as a 17-inch machine face carbonized gray painted aluminum wheel, which is optional on the XLT and Lariat. So again, they're just looking for specific things to be able to schedule and fill in those last slots, and dealers with an allocation can get selected for those. More than likely, it'll be stock orders, but there you go. All right. Next up is a 24 model year. Oh, I forgot to mention on the Maverick, they produced in month of May 17,468 Mavericks in the month of May. That is unheard of. So that plant built 34,000 vehicles. Wow, they're doing an awesome job. Sales for the Maverick, 13,616 Mavericks were sold in the month of May, which is, I think, almost 100% increase from the year before. Pretty cool. Next is a 24 model year Ranger. Order banks are open up for the Ranger for all configurations, including the Raptor, but your dealer would need a special Raptor allocation for it to ever be fulfilled, so keep that in mind. Currently 1,070 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are not scheduling for the Ranger this month, or this week, I should say. And just kind of numbers for last month, they produced 7,026 Rangers in the month of May. Pretty good numbers there. And they sold 4,703 Rangers in the month of May. So those Rangers are getting out there. So start looking for those. All right. Next up is a 24 model year Super Duty. Order banks are open up for the Super Duty. I'd stay away from ordering an F450. They already are overwhelmed with how many they have now. Wouldn't want to place one of those now at this point. There's currently 13,291 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Of that, 59% of them are F450, if that tells you anything. Wow. And their capacity on that is about 2 to 6%, depending on if you're looking at a cabin chassis or one with a cab. All right. Kentucky Truck Plant is going to be scheduled this week for the weeks of 7/8 through 7/29. And then it says scheduling is complete for July production in Ohio. So Ohio will not be scheduling any orders, only Kentucky Truck Plant. It says they're still needing those orders for the 6.8 liter XLs without the heavy duty standard alternator. Actually, they don't mention the gooseneck on that one. 250s and 350 XLT and Lariats with a 7.3 liter without the fifth wheel gooseneck hitch prep package. So I guess if you want to get the prep package, put on an XL with the 6.8. I don't know. I guess, though, would you be using your fifth wheel on a 6.8 liter? Anyway, it's pretty powerful, but most people probably wouldn't try to tow that way. They do need some orders with the spray-in bed liner and the factory one. Also, limited availability for only 2 options. The limited, makes sense, and the two-wheel drive Dana axle, which is standard on the 450, 550, 600 two-wheel drives, pickup or chassis cabs. They're not showing any other constraints, but they also keep in mind Ohio is done. They're not going to schedule, and they're only going to fill in the last slots that they need for Kentucky for the month of July. So, all right. In the month of in May, though, they produced 34,755 Super Duties in the month of May and sold actually, they only show F-Series sales, which would be Super Duties and F-150s. 69,467 F-150s and Super Duties that sold in the month of May. Moving on to the 24 model year F-150. The order banks are open up for the 24 model year. All configurations, including all those Job 2 things. There's currently 8,229 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduled this week for the week of July 22nd. And also, it's just a reminder, we say this every week. If you have the tow haul package, don't forget to make sure you have that max tow axle for the 3.5 liter gas engine. Needs to be, do they have this right? I think they got that flipped around. Just make sure you have the right axle, the XL5 or XL7 for the 373 or 355 for the 5.0s and the gas. I think they got it flipped around this week. Anyway. The bed utility package is changing with the product starting for production starting the week of June 10th, which is next week. They will now have the different plates on those and then include the other tie-down plates in the vehicle. The cleats you'll have to get through your Ford parts departments. All right. And then also for production for May, they produced 54,109 F-Series or F-150s in the month of May between both plants. And in case you're curious, they also produced 3,260. Actually, I think Lightning sales was 3,260. We don't know how many Lightnings they produced. Probably because they don't want you to know. All right, moving on. 24 model year Transits. Order banks are open up for the Transits. Currently 6,077 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduled this week for the week of July 29th. Limit availability for the e-transit. That's the only note in here. For the month of May, they produced 17,034 transits at Kansas City, and they sold 15,862, with 1,451 of those being e-transits. And that's all I have for scheduled notes. So again, if you're watching this as a recorded video for Wednesday, put your questions down below. I try to answer those as quickly and as efficiently as I can when I see those. For those of you watching it live with us on Tuesday night, let's get to those questions, Sarah.
All right. We do have a few.
All right. I'll keep my notes out then.
Okay. Do you want to go to the thing?
The what?
I ignored my computer for too long.
Oh, in here?
Yeah.
All right. She's going to get her computer back up. I have 5 that are starred here. One from Niles. Okay.
So it goes to the bottom too.
All right. From Justin?
Yes.
All right. Let's show this in here. Justin said, Sarah Davis, my Maverick has shipped. My delivery date has changed from 6/18 to 7/1, or between there, and is now 6/16 to 6/29. Why it changed? Okay, so that happens a lot. So my Mach-E, it shipped out. It was I saw that it was on the rail, shipped out. It had a delivery date saying it was going to be the week of 6/10 to 6/17. I looked today and it says 6/17 to 6/24. It happens a lot. I don't know how it gets those dates. I think as soon as it's like produced, they actually put those ETAs on it as soon as it's produced. But then sometimes they get changed once they actually get on a rail.
And then when they need to, because he said that his is in one location and it needs to get put back on the rail to go or to switch over to another rail for a location. He says his dealer gave him this information.
Well, it actually doesn't come off of. Technically, once it gets loaded onto a rail car, within that car, it stays on that car until it gets its final location. What happens is that car will be moved onto another train to go to a different location if it needs to go and at a switch off or whatever. That's usually how that happens. It's not like it goes straight to it, but
that on the way to North Carolina, and it's currently in Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the deal. I'm going to be real with you. I like to do for our customers is our members. We do this on every week. We haven't needed to do it lately because we don't have any member orders. But I always told them, the members, I want to see that it's actually on the rail. If it's been produced, that's great. That's always great. But once I see that it's on a rail, then I figure about 4 weeks from the time it gets on a rail car. So you might have them look and see, because you can see the history of that. You might see when it was actually put on the rail at Hermosillo, and then figure about 4 weeks from there. And just, you're going to be pretty close, maybe 5 weeks. But that gives you a better idea than to see these ETAs moving around on you. It's kind of what I figured. What was it last week? Mine got put on the rail down in Mexico. So I figured about 4 weeks. So I was like, okay, well, shoot, then I'm going to get it before the end of June. Because actually, I think it was maybe more than that, maybe a couple weeks. We noticed it was the last Friday live you did. So it was a couple weeks ago that it showed up there. So I was like, well, shoot, it's going to be here middle of June. Well, it's in Kansas City now. It arrived in Kansas City like Monday, I think. So it's in Kansas City. It's still on the rail, but it's in Kansas City. It needs to get off the rail. It needs to get on a convoy and then get here. So I know that. So usually once it gets to like wherever your depot is, it's close to your dealership and gets on a rail or gets on a convoy, then usually figure about a week or 2 weeks from that time. So that's why mine's in Kansas City now. It arrived in Kansas City this week. I figured 2 more weeks. So I'm giving it 2 weeks. Probably when it arrives, that's going to be right around the 20th, which is what the ETA is now. So it'll update and change. Yeah. And it updated once it got to Kansas City, they updated the ETA for me. So for you, they probably updated it because they actually finally left Hermosillo. Probably
that, or it got to its next waypoint where they it
they can,
switches and goes.
at that point they're like, oh, okay, well now we need to update that. And they used to not update it until it expired. Like they used to do, which I kind of like that they do it this way, but they used to wait. And let's say my ETA was the 14th. They would normally wait until June 14th. And if it wasn't at the dealership, then they would update it with a new ETA.
Yeah.
And then they would just give it a, I mean, they would just make stuff up. I'm sorry, but what they would do is then all of a sudden it'd be 1 month. They'd give it another month, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's not accurate at all. This is a little more accurate what they're doing. So probably originally when it was produced and it was put on a rail car at Hermosillo, they gave it a date, and now that's actually left Hermosillo. Now it's updated with a different date. So that would be my take on it.
Yeah,
but still,
but
it's close to that range anyway.
Like that's how long it should take, or they think it should take, but the shipping process takes longer than what they're estimating. So it might hit snags where it doesn't leave the factory right away, or it's on a rail car, but they don't have a train shipping out that day or that week to that location or whatever. So then it sits there and waits. Then it gets to the depot where it gets offloaded from the rail car, and they might have a bunch that came in at once. So then it gets backlogged. It kind of gets jammed in there because we don't know what these places look like or how they're offloading or onloading, what they're doing, but we think that they kind of get buried as they're offloading. And so you might see a couple of trucks come in that got offloaded off the rail before that or after that one because they buried it.
We have the general sales manager's Bronco Heritage Edition is sitting at the Michigan Assembly Plant since January.
Yes.
It's sitting there.
Yes.
The assumption is there's probably something wrong with it.
Right. But once it's released, they give you an ETA. And that ETA just keeps getting updated until it gets to the dealership. So that ETA is not strict. It's very fluid. And it changes constantly, or not constantly, but changes daily.
But from my experience of going through all these Maverick orders, because we watched a lot of them for the last couple of years, when it came to Hermosillo, I always said, once it's on a rail car, what's the date it got put on a rail car? Let's figure about 4 weeks. And that was pretty darn accurate for the most part for 2 years. So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
All right. Got another one? You ready?
Yes. Here. We have with all the stock orders in allocation, does your name on the submitted order improve your chances of getting it built? So a stock order versus a retail order. Retail order has your name on it. Ford's looking at those first before the stock units. So having a specific order in with your name is going to increase your chances of getting scheduled because Ford is looking at those retail units first.
Yep. That's why the priority is always lower on the retail than the stock.
The stock unit's just going on the lot. It's going to whoever buys it.
Yeah, they're assuming a stock is just what you need to help stock up your inventory, whereas a retail they figure is a sold unit.
Right. Stock unit's just for predicted sales, while a retail unit has a buyer for it already. So they want to get those out first. Let's see.
So it does, yeah. So yeah. So it really does help if you have an order unit versus stock that you get it. Plus, sometimes if there's any situation, sometimes where there's any private offers, sometimes also when you put a retail order in, let's say the incentives, let's say right now, there's special low interest rate right now, and you order now, you're actually can get those incentives when the vehicle comes in. So let's say the price goes up on a stock order, it's going to be the new price, period. It's going to be whatever it is when it came in.
Yeah.
But if you had a retail one, the dealer better be price protecting to the price it was when you ordered, as well as incentive. That's called incentive lock and price protection. I've, of course, talked about both of these and over and over the years. But that's another reason why you should put in a retail order is that you're locking in any incentives. Now, if it's better when it comes in, you still get that to get that as well because you're even though it says locked in, basically in Smart Vincent, you're looking at the protected date, which was when you ordered it, or the sale date. You can pick one or the other. So
yeah,
that's the benefit of ordering too.
Yep. So back to our how they move around. Jay says in LA, the dealer has your car same week it goes on the train. That would be true for a Maverick. perhaps. But if you're getting an F-150, it may take longer to get from one side of the country to the other.
Yeah, because those are built in the Midwest. So, see, like for people that get a Maverick, the first dealers that received them at the very beginning was Arizona, because I go into Arizona, then over to LA. So LA gets them, like you said, within a week.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, the Mach E got put on a rail, and it was in Kansas City within a week.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, the rail you can get from about any now, maybe East Coast, maybe it's going to be longer, 10 days to 2 weeks. But I can tell you, being in the Midwest, we can get any vehicle from any plant once it actually the train moves within a week, it will be in Kansas City.
Yes. Now we do have one of the assembly plants in Kansas City, and we tend to get those pretty quickly. Because
we're the same way, because it's just right there. They just put it on a car hauler, and it comes down to us.
In Michigan, that's where they build Bronco,
F-150, F-150s, and Mustang. Yeah. So they get all theirs. Those don't ever get on a train. They go on a car hauler.
Right. So they get theirs quickly. So it's all about location in reference to the assembly plant.
The first Rangers were in the Michigan dealers.
Yeah.
That's why there was a dealership that used to do a lot of videos, and they really aren't doing it much anymore. And I would always wait until I got a vehicle here to do the walk around on for my videos, that now I just do it on my computer. And I would wait till they came in, and that dealership would get theirs first because they were in Michigan. And it always angered me. I'm like, oh, yeah, I want mine so I can do a video. And so we do things a little differently now, but that's kind of how that works. But yeah, it depends on location. Location has a lot to do with how quickly you get it. You're East Coast on about every vehicle, unless you're getting an Edge coming out of down out of Canada. They go over into New York first, and
but sometimes those rail cars can move around. Vols said when we were tracking his for him, it went through Missouri and Illinois, stopped in Indiana, traveled west to Kansas City, sat in yard for 2 weeks before a carrier took it to Salina. So for us,
that's
that's been the usual track right now.
Well, we've seen some of them go straight up right to Kansas City and not go into Illinois and back.
That was like before January. In January, when I was tracking all these Mavericks, I started to notice them go up to Indiana and then come back down. So it's been a recent development that they've been doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. And it might be just because of how they loaded up the trains. Because some of them will go up to Illinois into Missouri.
It might be that they don't have enough Kansas vehicles. Kansas bound or, that region bound vehicles. And so they need to fill it up with other vehicles, and they're sending them up to Indiana before bringing them back down.
It might be more efficient. I don't know. Anyway.
They're doing something, and they're doing it.
It is what it is.
Yep.
It's got to be patient. It's hard. My Mach-E, I'm like that. I'm so excited to get it.
Is there any timeline when Ranger is scheduled to start building? Ranger 2.7? Thanks in advance.
Let's see. When was job 2? Job 2 scheduling. I think they're gonna. What is that? July production. I think this is the first month for 2.7 production or scheduling for July build date. So I think July is when they're going to start producing the 2.7. If I remember.
Okay.
Right. I need to start writing some of that stuff down, but I mean, I'd have to look at the other ones, but I know that they told us 2.7. Once 2.7 could be ordered, then they could be scheduled for that next month. So I believe July production, I think. So we probably won't see one at a dealer until August.
Yeah.
At the earliest.
Wasn't Mom's Expedition shipped via convoy/truck hauler?
No, it got put on a train. And then once it gets to Kansas City,
then
it goes down.
4 months.
Yeah, it's set for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then so it was built. This is during the chip hold. So it was built, and then it sat for 2 months. The chip finally got put in it. Then it sat for another 2 months another month before it was shipped out.
Yep.
And then took a month to get here.
Yeah. Roughly how many F-150s do they schedule per week?
I don't know. I mean, we know that production-wise, like last month, what did they produce? 54,000 between the two plants, and they were almost even. It was like 25,000 at like Kansas City and 28 in at Dearborn, but Dearborn also included Lightning production. So it's about split in half there. So, 54,000, divide that by 4 weeks. It's, good 8 to 10,000 vehicles a week. Right. I mean, give and take.
Yeah.
So.
All right. That's all I had.
All right. I mean, 17,000 Mavericks produced. That's not the most in 1 month. The month before, in April, it was 17,600, but that's 2 months in a row for 17,000.
Right.
That's incredible. They're trying to get those. They're definitely trying to get them all produced. So that's good. All right. So there's that. That's scheduling.
It's not the most. Nope, that's not the most.
Yeah. April beat it by a couple hundred. But you think about it, 34,000 out of that plant between Bronco Sport and Maverick. That's pretty good.
F-150 a good F-150 Lightning a good seller here.
Here? Not necessarily for Kansas.
No.
We're not really a huge EV town and area, but we, again, sell all over the country. We do have, by the way, 3 Lightnings coming in for stock. So we have 2 Flash and a XLT coming for stock. So at the replenishment plant, or facility or whatever, I don't know what they're calling it, but basically way Ford's going to do it is you're not going to be able to special order a Lightning anymore. So what's going to happen, what you do instead is you look on the website, you find out what's at the different close to your dealership. For us, it's Kansas City, and all the dealers in the Kansas City region get to basically handpick out of those vehicles. And if we want some for stock, we can go ahead and grab them. So the ones that are there. So we got 2 Flashes and an XLT coming. I don't know what colors, but so
basically it's a barrel.
It's, well, to be honest,
everyone can pick out of that barrel.
Okay, so to be honest, they call that rapid replenishment. So I don't really talk much about this, but there's certain models like Escape, Bronco Sport now has rapid replenishment, I believe, and some of those others. So what rapid replenishment is that if a dealer does well and they turn vehicles in the first month, then they get turn and earn. Then they get some rapid replenishment units that are in these locations that are already built. So Ford builds maybe their highest, or maybe not, maybe the ones they just want to offload these vehicles. Then you get those vehicles and you get them at your dealership like that. So instead of waiting, like you schedule, like right now, you schedule for 2 months in advance. Like they're scheduling for July build dates in May, right? We're going to soon be talking August build dates. So instead of waiting until August and those not showing up till September, these are vehicles that are already built in Kansas City area, already there, and it's called rapid replenishment. We can grab a couple of those and bring them here, especially if we sell them really well. Mm-hmm. So it's called rapid replenishment. So now they're basically doing that same concept for Lightning, but instead of your sales, it's just there they are.
Yeah,
so they're building them.
I think that's supposed to help dealers not have them sit on their lots and not be able to sell them.
Yes, so they can just stay there, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have to bring in a stock and it's set. For us, we're going to try it out and have them here ready to go for customers. But it really, in a sense, they stay in this lot waiting for people that need one. So if you're like, okay, I want a Lightning, I'm ready for a Flash. How fast can I get it? Instead of waiting 3 months to 4 months to get one and special order one, instead 3 to 4 weeks, I can have it here.
Yeah. So instead of where we got Mavericks and we had too many Mavericks, not too many to sell, but we had 70 on our lot at one point. But we didn't have F-150 Lightning, and we were running short on F-150. So we said, there were other dealers out there that wanted the Maverick because they weren't getting Mavericks. So you dealer trade it. Well, we've just lost the Maverick allocation.
Yeah, so that it's a Maverick sale we lose.
Yes.
Because we give that Maverick to a dealer, we get an F-150, so we get the sale for the F-150. They would get it for the Maverick.
So instead of that happening, now it's going to sit there, and if someone wants it, they can go, well, I want that, and that dealership gets that.
Yeah.
So then they can work with the dealers that they want to, and the dealer technically has that available for their customers to choose, but the dealer doesn't have to have it on their lot.
Yeah. So I kind of like how they're doing it for the Lightning, and I think they'll do that for the Mach-E as well eventually. But
it'll be hard for some of the older generations where they're used to driving the lots on Sunday
and looking.
It'll be harder for the car dealerships that are used to having stock.
Well,
But
we
like
know,
you said, we can pull stock if we want to.
yeah, but also Lightning's not something that's like just selling like hotcakes like F-150s are.
Yeah.
Like you got to have a bunch because you're selling a bunch. So, like Mavericks, we want to stock Mavericks.
I feel like we got more leads off of the farm show than we did anything else.
Yeah, we sold the Lightnings we had pretty fast after the farm show once we actually explained how it could be beneficial to them. So, all right.
Onwards.
Moving on, let's go to dealer news. All right, just a couple things here, but there was some order guides that updated, and I tried to figure out what had changed. And there's some information on Bronco Raptor as well in this packet. All right, so first off, Ford did give some information to dealers. They really want to make sure dealerships know everything they can about the 25 Explorer and some of the key changes and highlights for ordering. Because they've simplified it. So they made some information for dealers, a little one-page thing on the ST line and why the ST line is a cool one to get. And when you watch my videos, I actually told you I thought ST line was the best trim level to order on an Explorer. And guess what? They have an ST line one-pager. And I didn't get that from them, but anyway, but when you just look at it, it's just easy to figure that out. But they kind of talked about it. They actually have a video for dealers to look at that's goes over the series lineup because it's very simple. It's they have active, ST line, ST, and platinum. So you want to load it up, nice quality one, you're looking at platinum. You want that performance, you're ST. You want the bare bones, you're active. You want anything in between, a ST line is the one, because the ST line, it says it's the new sport appearance package. So basically last year there was an XLT and you had the XLT appearance package. Well, that's the ST, basically. ST line is taken over and you have that. So they kind of just have a little thing. And ST line can get Blue Cruise, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And for less money. So you're getting more equipment for less money. You get you get Copilot 360 Assist 2.0, 360-degree camera, adaptive cruise, lane centering, 4 digital experience, and you get the hands-free driving hardware included, starting at $46,110, including the destination and delivery. And it also gets basically takes the active comfort packages included. You get all that. So it's only $300 more than last year's XLT Sport Appearance package. So anyway, trying to educate dealers on that. Next, the Bronco Raptor today, they revealed. I don't think you saw this.
No.
New pricing for 23 model year. Every time. Okay, so I laugh at this because we had every month Ford does this go to market call. And they always talk about incentives for this month. Oh, we're going to enhance incentives. And every time they come out with it, like right now, it's like 23 model year, enhance incentives on 23. And we're looking at it going, we don't have any 23s. We did our job. We sold our 23s before 24s arrived or as they're arriving. We don't have 23. So there's evidently a lot of dealers with some 23 inventory left over, and you can take advantage, including Bronco Raptor, because they lowered the price on the Bronco Raptors. And so what they did is they showed this little sheet. I don't know if I can show this. I don't care. There you go. They showed this little sheet, and you guys probably can't read the numbers anyway. But basically, depending on what Bronco Raptor you have in stock and what price level it's in stock at, shows what the revised MSRP is. So there's a new price level, $375, which means the starting MSRP will be $80,580. That's a lot better than some of the ones we have that are 100,000 on 24 model year. So if you're looking for a good deal on wanting a Bronco Raptor, see if you can find a leftover 2023, because they're now all going to be repriced down, no matter what price level they are, down to $80,580, and that's probably before destination delivery, I'd assume, and before any options were added onto it. So we're talking base MSRP. So if it was price level 345, which was one of the first ones, it's $3,000 off of that, because it was 83.5. So this crept up to 86.580. So if you find one out there that's actually arrived pretty recently and it's maybe a price level 370, it would show an MSRP of 86.580 base MSRP. it's going to be discounted and changed $6,000 down to a base price of $80,580. So for those of you looking for a good deal on a Bronco Raptor, if a dealer has a 23, we don't, but if a dealer does, there you go. Go shopping on Ford.com. Find a dealer. And half of those dealers will probably discount theirs anyway off of that. They should if they're wanting to get rid of their 23s. Anyway, now I'm waiting for the 24 model year to come down. So probably they're going to price these down. They did the same thing with the Mustang Mach-E. So they really reduced the price of Mustang Mach-E. That really enhanced the sales, get rid of the 23s before 24s arrive. That's Ford's goal. But what they used to do, and I kind of like, we as a dealers, our dealership likes this concept because they're not doing the rebates. Because what some dealers will do is some will use the rebates and some won't. So sometimes what Ford will do in the past, they used to like, oh, we're going to give out dealer cash. Well, dealer cash was a rebate that you didn't have to disclose to the customer. And you can pretty much scoop it, is what we used to call it, where you can go ahead and price it at invoice and use that dealer cash. That's your profit at that point. Whereas like what we did is we used the dealer cash to discount the vehicle down and have the best price out there. But what Ford's doing is, no, we're done. We're not doing rebates. We're not really, they're not doing hardly any. Like if you look at the SUV, last month was SUV month and none of the vehicles had rebates. They all had just low interest rates, because what Ford's doing is they're managing the inventory, the pricing themselves. They're like, nope, we're done with the dealerships doing this. We're going to manage the prices ourselves. And that's what they pretty much have done with the Raptor. They did with the Mach-E. They went ahead and lowered the prices. So you're going to see Ford, usually there's always been price increases, but I think we're going to see more and more of this. We're seeing it on the Mach-E. We're seeing on some other vehicles. We're going to start seeing some of those prices come down. And I actually had Laura from Alcione. She asked me that. She says, do you think the Bronco Raptor price is going to come down? And there you go. I said, yeah, I think it will. And there it goes. Yeah. But that's not something. I mean, anybody could have figured that one out. But 80,000 is a lot closer to the Ranger Raptor price. Definitely. Right. Now they just need to bring the 24 down to that level.
Yeah.
So, and then I might be in.
Someone said there's 23 Bronco Raptors out there still.
Yeah, I guess there must be,
or they wouldn't have released it.
Okay, order guide updates. They're usually at the beginning of every month. They'll update. They'll find some error in the order guide, that kind of thing, and they'll update the order guide. Sometimes it's something that I can find that's, oh, wait a minute, that changed. So that's going to be done now, and usually we see that around job 2. So for this week, it happened yesterday. They updated the order guide on the chassis cab Super Duties, which I didn't really look at that one. Mustang Mach-E, the only thing they changed that I could tell was the wording on the Blue Cruise. So they kind of tweaked the wording a little bit in the disclaimer, the note on there. The Ranger, they changed the name of the bed cover wording. So what it had on the Rangers is actually kind of funny, that if you looked at the optional equipment where you could get the tonneau cover, it would say not available with, and before it said tough bed drop-in liner. There's no such thing as a tough bed drop-in liner. So they updated the wording. It was supposed to be modular drop-in liner. So again, typo. They fixed the typo. Basically what they did. So they changed that. Also on the F-150 Lightning, they updated and added charge network, blue oval charge network to the standard equipment on the Pro. So that was a big change there. On 25 model year Explorer, they updated because they actually had an option in there that said rear auxiliary controls credit, and there was no note to that. So people are like, oh, I want to take that. I want to remove that. Like, no, that wasn't an option you can actually select. So what they did is they then now have added the wording required option when feature is not available. So not necessarily an option that you need to order, but it will be required when the rear auxiliary controls are not available, because that was an issue last year. So they added that for the order guide. So they updated that on the active ST line, ST, and Platinum options. And then on the ST line standard equipment, and we also saw this on the ST and Platinum, They also changed the note on the Blue Cruise, as I mentioned, and they had on there that you could buy a 3-year plan. That was wrong. It's supposed to be a 1 year. So on the Explorer, for some reason, you cannot get a 3-year Blue Cruise plan as optional equipment. So it was right in the options, but on the standard equipment and the note in there, it said 3 years, and it was supposed to be you can buy an option for 1 year. So they changed that in there. So that was it. What you doing? Moving your sticker?
Yeah.
All right. So that's that. Probably no questions about that.
Nope.
All right. Moving on to recalls.
Yes.
All right. Let's get through recalls. I'm going to run out of beverage.
Well, what's in that cup? Everyone wants to know.
Pretty soon, nothing. It is a Starbucks beverage, cold beverage. Starbucks
coffee.
Vanilla.
So Niles has an update on that recall that you guys talked about last week.
Which one?
Do you want me to do that when you're done?
Go ahead and do it now. So
his truck goes into the shop tomorrow to get the update for the towing feature.
Oh yeah, that
you guys spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
His 22 F-150 can get the APIM updated to have the Copilot 360 show him the view from the camera on the mirror when he's using his blinker, and on the radio, onto the radio screen while having a trailer hooked up.
Yes, and did he put that link to that article?
I don't
in the
think
comments?
so.
All right. So there you go.
He had mentioned it.
There you go. So he actually emailed me this link today. I haven't had a chance to chat with him today. But that is a link that he found on the forum, on the F-150 Gen 14 forum. That's the thread where he got that information. So there you go. So you guys can check that out if you have an F-150. So there you go. That's pretty cool. So he talked about how you could see the camera beside you when you put your turn signal on.
That's pretty cool.
For the blind spot. Yeah. So I guess Super Duty has it now, and F-150 can get it, if it has a 360 camera with that update.
Which now is getting done tomorrow.
Which will be cool. And then once we do it, we did show that video last week. I noticed the audio because he didn't have the mic. So I think we're gonna hopefully he can get that fixed and we'll get this camper, and we'll do another audio, or do another video, I should say. So we can hear him really well. So anyway, plus I do have that video, so I'll just slide it in, and we'll make it we have a couple different versions of that. So definitely pretty cool stuff out of Niles. All right. Okay. Moving on to this recall, safety recall 23S27. This is actually a supplement. Supplement means they update it. On this update, they added the parts availability. So parts are now available to repair the 23 model year Corsair and Escape vehicles. This recall has to do with 21 to 23 Corsairs, 2020 to 2023 Escapes, and 22 to 23 Maverick vehicles equipped with the hybrid, or some of the other vehicles, Escapes with the plug-in hybrid, the underhood fire. So this is that recall, and this now has they had parts before already available for the Maverick. Software was available. Parts, it says not available yet for this one. This is the one that I think could be fourth quarter for the Maverick before it's available. But we do have for the Corsair, the 23 model year, the parts are available. The Escape 23 model year, the parts are available, and then the software is available. So some of these I think only need a software update. Maybe the Maverick, that's what it is, because it does say software available on it, like that. So software available on the Mavericks, the bottom one in green. So software is available on the 22 and 23. Also the Escape 2020, 21, and 22. The software is available. And then the hardware is available on the 23. So I think parts available. So I think you got to do parts on the 23. So anyway, so that was updated. And currently there's 124,965 people affected. And let's see, letters. Do I have letters? Oh, here. This is a 3-pager. It says the owners of the 23 Corsair and Escape vehicles, letters are expected to be mailed the week of June 10th. Owners of the 2020 to 2022 Escape, 21 to 22 Corsair, and 22 to 23 Maverick vehicles are expected to be mailed the week of June 3rd. So that's this week. So you should get your letters and what you need to do. So this should be a recall that you can get done this week. Hopefully you guys get your letters. You can go into your dealers on your Mavericks that have this recall. 23S27 recall. All right. The next one has to do with the big trucks. These are your, we call them the medium trucks, the F650s and 750s. I don't know if we need to cover this. 23 to 24 model year. This is safety recall 24S09. This is the official recall. There was an advance notice that came out February 28th. This is the official notice now. There's 18,707 of these big trucks out there that have this recall. It has to do with the manual park brake lever inspection. So, and some of the affected vehicles, when a light to moderate force is applied, the parking brake handle may disengage without having to press the release button. If the parking brake is unintentionally disengaged, you guys know what will happen, right? Anyway, so that one there, it says letters are going out the week of June 10th, again, for the official notice and service that can be done. So it's good. We're getting the vehicles. We're getting these notices of this is official. Go in and get it done type of letters, right? Which is awesome. Actually, I'm going to leave that one. This next one is safety recall 24S36 for 24 model year Mustangs. Inspect the manual transmission line. This is 8,122 vehicles affected by this, built between September 27th of 22 through May 23rd of 24. Says, I think this is an advance notice on this one here. Says in some of the affected vehicles, the hydraulic clutch line may not be properly retained to a locating stud on the dash panel. A line with improper retention may contact hot exhaust components and melt, leaking hydraulic fluid. A leaking clutch pressure line will not impact the volume of brake fluid in the brake system, so customers will not observe an impact to brake function. However, this condition may or can impact the brake fluid supply in the clutch and can result in an inability to change gears. That would be good. Depending on the vehicle speed and gear, your engine may stall. The loss of motive power increases the risk of a crash. If leaked hydraulic fluid accumulates near a sufficiently hot surface, you may observe smoke and possibly experience an underhood fire. Another underhood fire. Of course, that increases the risk of a crash. Anyway, so there you go. Letters are going out the week of June 17th. So this is an advance notice. This is the official notice. Sometimes I'll have it both in there. So this is the official notice for they have the repair now, it looks like. The week of June 17th is when those can be going to get repaired. Now, I think if you have one now and you know about it, like listening to us, then you probably could go in and get it taken care of. All right. Next one is a compliance recall 23C05. This is an update, supplement number 1 for 21 to 22 model year Broncos with the 8-inch sync screen, like what I have. This in here we actually have talked about twice. There was another supplement to this one on April 19th as well as March 19th. This in here, what they did is they updated the software update procedure has been updated for clarity. So they made it a little bit easier. Only 1,677 vehicles are affected by this. And letters are going to go out, already went out to those owners. So it's not me. I didn't get one. So there you go. And the reason for this recall is the rear view camera and image display function properly. The rear view camera and image display function properly throughout the duration of a backing event and properly sees from the backing event ends. A black or blue screen is then displayed rather than expected sync screen. So yeah, so I haven't had that happen, but there you go. So that one there is out and get fixed. Now, speaking of that, I don't mention this every week, and I wish I did, and I remember to, but down in the description of the video, in fact, on this one right here, you can open that up and hit that more. I actually have the link you can go to check and see if your vehicle has recalls. Plus, it should be in the Ford Pass app, where I kind of mentioned that before, but you can go to ford.com/support/recalls-details/ if you want to find out if your vehicle has a recall, put the VIN number in there. But also on your app, if you go to services, if you're on your vehicle, like I have the Expedition here and I go to services, click on that and it'll tell you if there's any service campaigns. So this in here says view customer program alerts. I click on that. If you don't have that, then you don't have a recall. I click on that like for this one and it's actually showing me the current recall that's available on my 22 Expedition. In this case, it's an install the new dash mat. There you go. So that's campaign, and it even has a campaign number, 23B11. So that's how you would see. You can also do it using the 4-pack. And a lot of people complain about this app, but at least that's still there for any recalls, right? So there you go. All right, this last one here is a customer satisfaction program, 24N02. So not a safety recall. This is for 21 model year F-150s with the 3.0 diesel engines. I think we've actually talked about this before. There's another reference to this with the emissions recall. For 3.0 diesel particulate filter replacement. So 2,239 vehicles are affected by this because not many diesels were built back then. That's why they did away with it. The reason for providing a no-cost one-time repair is in the affected vehicles, a malfunction indicator light, MIL, may illuminate due to a DPF-related diagnostic trouble code. So has a service. Letters are going to go out the week of July 1st to owners for that. And this is a one-time repair if the vehicle has already exceeded either the time or so, okay, let me go back to the beginning. This program provides a no-cost one-time repair to the diesel fuel particulate, DPF, for 15 years of service or 150,000 miles from the warranty start date of the vehicle, whichever occurs first. This is a one-time repair program. If a vehicle has already exceeded either the time or mileage limits, then this repair offer will last through June 30th of 2025. Coverage is automatically transferred to subsequent owners. So there you go. That's all those. And again, some of these, there actually were quite a few safety recalls in there. A lot of repair orders information updated, which I like to see. But there you go.
All right.
That's that. Okay. Any questions about those?
Nope.
All right. Please seek your local service department for any repairs needed and official information and explanation of those.
He just reads the notes.
I just read them. I'm reading. I'm not. It's not ad lib. This is not any made up stuff here. Not that smart. All right. People will call me on service related stuff, and I said, I don't know. I really don't.
And half the time, I think that because they're like, I had this recall. I'm like, oh, they sent you to the wrong Tim. Let me get you Tim in service. Because we actually have a Tim in service too. So,
all right, I got for is it true? Get into that.
Is it true?
It's really not a statement, but more of an image. Hold on.
Image.
I don't like. Actually, I'm gonna stop using this. So Ford Authority posted the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Badlands spotted without camo. I'm gonna go down to the photos here. We'll just scroll through the photos. No, we'll just do the article. I get ads that pop up and drive me nuts. I need to just purchase an ad blocker. All right, so let's check this out.
Dragoncon's right. Hey, look, I just read the words on the paper. It doesn't mean I understand what I'm reading. So he actually had me try a few weeks where I read the recalls, and I'm reading through them, and I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm literally just reading it.
Sometimes I struggle because I don't have my glasses on. So I'm trying to do this. All right, so here we go. Ford Authority, great source for Ford news. They always seem to find the vehicles out driving around. Bronco Sport. This is their 2025 Bronco Sport that is out there driving around, and I gotta say I kind of like it. And now I can probably tell you that this is what I saw at the dealer thing, non-disclosure agreement. This is what I saw at the dealer. I don't know. Maybe I can't say that. This is what I saw. Anyway, so there you go. There's a side image there, different wheel design and tire and everything. Man, I haven't read the article itself. I just looked at the pictures. Now it's on its 4th year of production, meaning okay, you guys can read the article. I'll link it down below.
I like that front front fascia.
There's the front fascia. So you notice that bumper has been changed in front fascia. Now they're assuming this is a Badlands. Maybe it has Badlands badge on it somewhere. The grill has changed. That grill looks different. I wish sometimes they'll actually put an image beside it, but that is different. Those headlights are bigger. Right? Am I right? Am I wrong?
Those look bigger and the grill looks smaller. But I do like the
Maybe
aggressive front skid plate area.
Maybe the lights aren't any bigger.
I really like it.
Because here's a
Heritage.
Here's one. Oh, maybe they are the same size as they
I
were.
don't know.
Now I lost where was that.
Maybe it's the chain link fence
Yeah.
skewing our view.
No, it's the same headlight. It's the same headlight. That didn't change that. It doesn't look like
Okay.
just that grill. But I do like the look of that grill. Somebody probably tell me. Anyway, but that bumper, yeah, and okay, so
It does look like you could add a bull bar.
it looks like that's a modular front bumper that you can add
Yes.
lights to. It's different stuff like that. Okay, I can't say anymore because NIL, but not NIL, not whatever. NDL. Thank you. NDA, whatever. There you go. So that's we're just gonna show the pictures because I don't want to get any more trouble. But that there, yeah. Well, question is, will it be on every Bronco? That might be the question.
Yeah.
I'll just throw that out there that way.
It does. Okay, it's giving more 2012 Escape vibes.
Okay, I do like this. This here, I think that's available now currently.
Yeah.
I think that's a that you can get those now. I believe something similar.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's a little wider. I think it covers in where that crease is up there. This mentions it's got Wild Peak tires, 360-degree camera, right?
Yeah.
Front sensing system. It looks like on this one here. So it must be Badlands Premium. There's the back.
Ooh, I'm liking the gray mixed in. I'm really liking that.
Kind of brings forward. Maybe I just want to use their wording in the article. Get myself in trouble. Did they mention anything here? I'm gonna look through this real quick in this article.
I like Ragnarok. Ooh, they gave the Bronco sport designers the good coffee on the day they created this.
Okay, so they don't mention anything in here, but anyway, I believe I believe some of this here is going to be a package. Let me just say that. That's
speculation.
That's about all I can say. Although the back tailgate
I like it.
is different, right?
I like it.
I gotta move my Bronco Sport that's on my. Yeah, it's different. Although I picked a bad color, I picked a black to be able to look at. But yeah, they've definitely have changed it. I like it.
Think
I don't know.
Convince Lebo to buy one.
Anyway, and the infotainment system will be the same as the what we talked about with the Maverick. Bronco Sport will get the 13.2-inch screen. Probably get either the 4 digital experience or the Sync 4 at least. So similar to what you get in the Escape right now.
You think that's Atlas blue?
That looks, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it is. I think that's a new blue because did you notice that's real similar to the blue they showed on the Maverick?
Yeah.
So I think that might be a different color blue. Anyway, there you go. There's that. All right, I won't say any more. Forgo any trouble I might get myself into. All right.
Which, by the way, I have no idea what he's talking about because he hasn't even told me anything.
It's hard to explain what I've seen visually. I don't. It's got. I don't. Anyway.
Right, but then when stuff pops up like this, I can speculate on it, and I have no idea what you know.
Sometimes, if you remember, we talk about things. We'll see. Anyway, so there's that. There is that.
We don't talk about anything in the member lives.
No.
Nothing.
So, all right. Anyway, so there you go. So there's that. Is it going to be true? Is that coming to 25? Some version of that I think is coming to 25, but the question is going to be, will that be a package or will that be what the bumper is going to look like on all of them? And I believe it's, I actually know, but I couldn't say anything. All right. So we're moving on. Let's talk about Mavericks at Carlisle.
Woohoo!
All right. So Mavericks of Carlisle. So Kim and Chaz and Amy, a
They do
lot
a
of
great
people,
job.
and Mab Sims in here. They do a great job of including Maverick Truck Club was one. Now they can probably tell me in the comments. They were one of the top clubs at Carlisle. They have like little competitions within the clubs. They're the top 10.
I can tell
I
you.
think they're in the top 8.
They were number 8.
Number 8.
Well, and that was before they started.
Yeah, she can put it in the comment in there. We'll let you know.
I don't know what they ended up at.
Anyway, there were a lot of Mavericks, more than last year.
Yes.
We were there for the first year, and there's quite a few.
Last year they were proclaimed an official Ford club.
Yes.
Enthusiast club.
Ford
and
Enthusiast
this year
Club.
they got visited by Ford Performance.
Yep. So I thought we'd start off because Chaz made a video that they said I could share. So I appreciate you sharing that with me.
In fact, he did not share it until after we've shared it here.
Yeah. So and you didn't need to do that. I'm very humbled by that, and thank you for that. But it does have music, and I like to play it with the music, but I'm a little afraid that since we're live, if there's any kind of copyright infringement while it's live, they will just shut down the live stream. So I don't want to chance that. So I'm going to play it without the audio in there or the music. And we'll just kind of try to talk through if that's all right with everybody. So let's play that. I think do I have it right here? Yes. I'm going to mute that first and add this to it. So we'll play this. It's about 5 minutes long. We're going to play this through. You can get a good feel of what Mavericks were there, and Ford Performance made a stop by the booths to chat with the owners. And that's what I want to talk in there is I want you guys to share with me what all did they talk to you about? What all did you say you'd like to see as well?
I'll stir your comments as you make them.
She said what Kim
said. She said play the audio. Music is licensed. You can use it.
Okay. Yes, it might be licensed for recorded videos that I can copyright and say it's okay ahead of time. But since this is live, it's going to
shut us down.
I've had that happen. Yeah. So where I've had music that has been okay with regular videos, but when I include it in a live, it's actually shut it down.
Yeah. So we just don't want to have it shut us down.
And has it been copyrighted by YouTube? Is it YouTube if I don't have to put anything in the comments, then it may be good. If you know that it's been a YouTube approved audio that needs no
we would just hate to
attribution needed.
We would just hate to play it.
And then you guys not see any more of the live stream. So let's go ahead and play it the way I have it in here. It's a little weird without the music, I will say. But this is a Carlisle. For those that haven't been here, there's a big stage where they do a lot of different announcements and everything. They have this nice big hill, and all the Mavericks are on the top of the hill. I believe the same location as last time, and some really cool Mavericks there. So there's a nice cyber orange, and I'm seeing some hood scoops here.
Yes. Hood scoops seemed popular.
There's their table. Look at all those different vendors that provided giveaway items, which is really awesome. And then all the cool Mavericks there.
Yeah. Look how many Mavericks. Ooh, a unicorn.
Some first editions. There's like 3 or 4. You can tell that rapid red is only available in the first edition. So you can tell that.
Yeah.
A couple that I remember from last year. Back again this year.
Wow.
Yep. There's another first edition. Another one. Where's the hot pepper red?
Which I think the 2 hot pepper red first editions were there together last year.
They're rapid red.
Sorry, rapid red.
This first edition. So there's some guys from the Ford Performance having some discussions. We got VTech right back there, Antonio back there. I can see in the background.
Yep.
And so they're chatting with some of the owners there and wanting to know, what are they doing?
Yep.
So I'm sure that
VTech had
VTech.
some great suggestions. For them.
Yes, I bet he did. So
First place winner was Tonkified. Tusharelli. He has Tonkified his Maverick. He even has a quad bike there that he's Tonkified. And he has a motorcycle that he tows that's Tonkified.
yeah, I saw that. And awesome people. Here's where I'm gonna unmute this and see how it goes because where's my thing?
That may not be a performance thing, but it's glitchy, And I know you're coming up with a bigger screen for the 2025s, right? I think.
Okay, maybe.
And we don't even.
It disclose future product information.
I mean, right. It seems fairly obvious from the way it's designed with that spare cubby that it was designed for a bigger screen and to keep the cost down, they shrunk it. And that's the general assumption. Because otherwise, the cubby's good.
Your guess is about as good as anybody else.
Probably. But that, I think, is a pretty universal, and it's just glitchy, We said it, have time to connect. We were just here on the way over and had the maps up with the car playing, and like the sound went off on the music we were playing.
Right. You didn't like the music. What about upgrades like
Dual exhaust.
No, I'd love to hear it. Dual exhaust.
Dual exhaust. Yeah.
Dual exhaust. Okay.
I just like the look at a minimum, right? The Escape has dual exhaust, but I can't. I think in a mess.
Brad, you get in on this conversation.
By the way, that's Napton right there talking about dual exhaust.
Yeah, we already talked to him.
Okay.
You got it. What else?
The other shirts.
What else? What do you like? What do you want for everyone?
They want to know what our wish list is.
Is that bacon?
Yeah, we'll have to stop talking if it's bacon. We need to find the bacon.
But a lot of stuff is other non-Ford stuff, like hood struts, tailgate thing, right? It'd be nice to have a Ford approved.
That's what I want to hear.
Because the struts, some of the struts,
Hood
right?
struts.
If you don't put them in right, the cable.
You want a Ford engineered hood strut.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that way it's warranty.
Yeah. You want a hydraulic.
The soft.
Well, Ford sells the DZ, which worked real well. So I don't know if people know that obviously there's other avenues.
Yeah, but you have to take
DEEZEE.
Yeah. All right. So I don't want to. I think the music's probably okay because it played enough of that there that would probably be all right. But there you go. So really good discussion. This sounds like with the. Man, I wish I was there. So good discussion. Make sure you're highlighting all those there. I know you were trying to do that, but there's nice photos of the event and giveaway and some awards. We're gonna we have some of these photos we're gonna share as well. So, but there's the group. They did a group photo. That's so cool.
Those shirts, they actually had someone design them and put them up on a merch site, and they raised money for food and the tent.
It's awesome. So there you go. So there's the audio. So there you go. So all good stuff right there. So yeah, very fun. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm sorry, I probably could have played the audio. I'm always I don't want to crash the live stream. Sorry, but they're going to post that video, I assume, at several places, including I do have a link for Maverick Truck Club. I think I included it down in the if you click more down in the description, you should see a link to two different Maverick Truck Club articles, including one that what's his name? I can't think of his name. When I'm live, it blanks me. But there's someone that was a celebrity judge that picked VTEX.
Yes, he got second place and celebrity judge.
And you picked his last year.
Yes.
So
he's won celebrity judge.
So Sarah's a fan of VTEX Maverick there.
I like it slammed.
Yeah.
And as we established earlier, Sarah likes cars to go fast.
All right. So let's go through some of the photos if you guys don't mind. And again, awesome video. Thank you, Kim and Chaz, for doing that video. It was a lot of fun last year. What I really liked last year about the event is being able to, when we did those videos and interview, I really like interviewing people and asking people about their vehicle. I just love that. People love talking about the different modifications or what they've done to their vehicle. Maverick is a really accessorized vehicle, and I think a lot of vendors had no clue how much people want to modify and do things to their Maverick, whether it be a bed cover, just simple stuff. But man, there's so much that you can do, just like with the Bronco, that people just didn't realize. But so let's go through some of the photos. But thank you guys. Maverick Truck Club. Make sure if you're not a member, if you got a Maverick, you join. And then if you're in the Northeast, go next year. The dates are out. Thank you very much for that. But we're not done talking about it. We're going to look at these pictures here. I think I got to switch this out. Hold on, gotta stop that. And then screen share again. And am I in the right one? Oh, there we go. There we go. I didn't think it was playing right. There we go. So there's the photos there. Actually, you can see the photos back here, but there's the setup, and you can see that. So and so I can zoom in with you. Oop.
Yeah.
Maybe
the night before.
Yep, the night before. So they are a Club Connect Ford Performance Registered Enthusiast Club, which is pretty awesome. So there you go. There's that. I could move around earlier. And then there's signs for Maverick Truck Club community. Hey, look, there we are, right down there with air design there. So. And there's some of their sponsors. I do want to kind of highlight them. So there's a lot of good sponsors that sponsored
all
stuff.
Those prizes came from.
All those
for
prizes for the raffle giveaway. Cobb, Vinyl. I think there's more there on the other side. Fast Mavericks, Flatten. I haven't heard of them, but I did see something that was pretty cool. Mabet. I don't know. They do stuff for Bronco too. Console Vault, Kiko. Is that right? Am I saying that right? Kiko.
So.
Some pretty cool stuff. Here's some other ones. You got Diodynamics. You have AAA Print X. Let's see what's behind the cursor. I don't know. Anyway, and then My Mav Mode. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so there you go. So those are pretty cool. Sponsors. There's the tent, and of course they had did they do barbecue and stuff and everything else?
So they grilled. They did sausage, brats, burgers. PA Outdoorsman brought his venison.
Oh, missed that.
I know. Anyway. I was looking at the pictures and I'm like, I missed it.
Inflated. Anyway. All right. So there's some of the Mavericks and some Area 51s. Some of those maybe Azure Gray.
Can't tell unless they're right next to each other.
I know you can. I was thinking these look a little shade off.
Two classes. They had the 22s and then the 23-24.
Which I think it's weird because it's only been out a couple of years. Why did they split that up?
I don't know. Because we have a refresh coming.
Maybe because it's the first year, and like some of those I could see doing just like on Mustangs, they do just a certain year, and then they have the others. Anyway, oh well, that's fine. There's VTEX is there on the left. I don't know everybody's, so I apologize for that. You can see there is a hot pepper red, and then there's some first edition rapid reds there as well. There you go. If yours is there, shout it out. If you're in there, if you're in here, I do like this. This is cool.
Yeah.
Check out those graphics. That kind of cool.
Yep.
I thought that was cool. There you go. And more slammed.
Yes.
Mavericks. I saw quite a few in these photos here. There's a white one that slammed with the black wheels, custom black wheels. Those are not Ford wheels.
No.
RTRs. They go on Mavericks. We've talked to them about these.
Sports.
Yes, they go on the Bronco Sport. They go on a Maverick. There you go. That looks cool. All right, there's the backside in between the two rows. A lot of Mavericks. This is pretty awesome. There's a VTEX on the left, slammed.
Different viewpoint.
Yep, different viewpoint there. And there's a tent downside. There's a couple different Cyber Oranges there. There you go. Are these the winners?
They are. Here.
Is this for 22 model year?
1 second. I got this. Where did I put that?
Yeah, it's in the very bottom of that report.
Yeah.
I was gonna actually show it at the end, but
What?
the
That.
winners. Anyway, we got
Yeah.
VTech there on the left, and then somebody's first edition
Here we go.
in the middle. Then
I can tell you based off the name because I named them. Remember?
Oh, this one just has a number.
Oh, I didn't have the names.
Anyway.
Yeah, but those were some of the winners.
The celebrity judge, again, I can't remember. Kim probably has their name in there. That's his Maverick, and it's slammed a little bit too with some different wheels. And so I like he painted the front, the grill,
okay.
kind of like I did with mine. So man, I really wish I drove mine up because I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was a pretty cool custom mods I did on it. So there's their man. I miss that food.
Yes.
The people are just so awesome there too.
So the one that
guys
you
are
were
awesome.
just looking at, he was promoting UPR.
Yeah. What?
So he had both his Mustang and his Maverick there, and
That's
he
right.
actually towed his Mustang with his Maverick.
He did that last year too, I think.
Yeah, but he was promoting UPR. Some of their parts that fit on the Mustang actually fit on the Maverick
Oh.
in the engine bay.
He, I don't know if we have any images of that, but I did see some of this. Did you? Okay. There's their spread
Their
there.
cookout.
There's that. Is that
There's flated,
flated?
and it's the topper. Now the canopy is a different company, but that is a flated topper.
Huh. Interesting. Does it inflate? Is that why they call it flated?
Yes.
Huh. That's
So
interesting.
if you don't want it,
gives you some shade. Can I put that back in my Bronco? All right.
probably it looks like it would fit.
All right. And then this, that was there last year. I can't remember whose that was though, top of my head. But this is a trimmer, right? They had a trimmer.
Yeah, that's a trimmer.
So there's a trimmer. I do like the graphics that they added to this. So this is different because in trimmer you could, last year there was a trimmer appearance package, right? They probably went non-appearance package and they did their own graphics.
It looks
here.
very close to the appearance
It
package.
it looks really good.
Brian Mabel was the celebrity judge.
This is Day M. I think this is one that won.
Yes, that's Day M.
Yes. And so he in the Maverick Truck Club, did he win? Is he one of the winners? Maybe. So there's that. Get
Flated.com.
There you go. If you're interested in that, check it out.
Yeah.
There you go. A couple images of that. That was on his. There you go. And then some of them on Sunday, it's not as busy. So some of them got their picture taken in front of this hill.
So that is Dominic Kidd.
Yes, Dominic Kidd. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
And then
DTF Garage.
Yeah.
And he has a hood scoop on there.
Yeah. Painted to match. So it's probably, I'd assume a lot of these are Air Design, which we we'll get to that in just a second. There's another view of that one. And then there's those guys for performance chatting with the groups there. I knew I was going to miss something.
Matt Day has the trimmer with custom graphics, and he was a prize winner.
There you go.
All right.
Ooh, that was pretty cool. Grabber Rick.
Yep, Grabber Rick. And he has quite a few pictures in there. He did a lot to it.
So I like the wheels. Those look like almost like an F-150 wheel. But they painted the grill. The hood scoop is not a Air Design. Really, it looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's thinner.
Yep, that's not.
I like how that looks, though.
Yeah, I do like it. There's the graphic on the side. There you go. Good side shot of it. Looks pretty cool.
Yep.
And then more of the tent.
Chilling, relaxing.
It was.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah, and I really look at all the Mavericks. So really good images. This is a different slammed one.
Yeah, this is Ken's 2022.
All right. So Maverick Truck Club, that's the name that Sarah put on these on all of them. You can see kind of up here in the left-hand corner. We kind of named them on those. Another slammed one with chromes.
He's a winner.
Kevin Dooling. There you go. There seems to be a theme here with the winners. Slammed. There you go. There's another.
That's Mabsim.
That's Mabsim.
Without all of his fun.
Yeah. So the reason we picked his for the live stream thumbnail was because
right there.
He had our little picture. Yeah, right there. So right there, Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can't see
Yeah.
my cursor. Yeah, you can't see the cursor, but there's a shot of me and then of Sarah on the passenger side window. And then some artwork on or some
Yeah.
pictures of his older vehicle there. And there's Mavi, the mascot. And then there's some
Mav.
Mav.
Amy. She was wonderfully.
She didn't have her
helped.
Maverick last year, right?
No, she did not.
So she got her Maverick this year. So that's pretty awesome. And then there is PA Outdoorsman. He has a YouTube channel. Check that out. That's his. I think that's his e-bike, right? Yeah. And then his roof tent, which he'd gotten since last year. So, and that's the one I chose last year, and I think he actually won this year.
He did win.
He was one of the top 3, right?
Yeah.
He might have won in the 2023.
So while they were there, they signed up 7 new Maverick Truck Club users at the show.
Cool. And there's those. I got one here. We'll show that off when we're done here. Pretty cool. A couple different designs for that.
Petrol Vibes.
Petrol Vibes. That's right. Those are pretty cool. And then I think they're showing some of the products here.
Yes. And those are all in order.
Raffle. Oh, okay.
Yep.
There you go.
So
pretty cool.
They have a lot of
Fast Maverick stuff.
What are those sponsors?
Mm-hmm.
They had enough prizes. I believe they had enough prizes for all of the people who registered early to get one.
Wow.
Like they did last year.
It's pretty cool. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Acquired and endorsed by Ford Vito Guy, a.k.a. Tim Bartz. The Air Design Fender Vent. So that's what I have. That's the one that I had. I actually contacted Air Design. I know the owner. And I said, hey, could you help out? They're looking for some giveaway prizes. Would you be willing to send this the fender vent like I have on mine? So that's going to come molded in black, but you can sand it. You can paint it to match or whatever color. Mine's happens to go with the wheels on mine. So there you go. Also, air compressor there on the left there. Mm-hmm. So pretty cool. Anyway, so pretty cool stuff there and giveaway. There you go. And there's them afterwards.
Small herd.
That's pretty cool.
This is Tonks 2023, and she has a Harry Potter themed Maverick.
Oh.
It's a Hufflepuff because Hufflepuffs are bright yellow.
Black roof. Black appearance package didn't come with a black roof, and you couldn't get that first edition. So they must have painted the roof.
Yeah. That's still the same one.
Yeah. Looks pretty good.
I like that Maverick on it.
Did they win? Did they get an award?
No. That's Touche.
That's pretty good. Yep.
Which is
Touche,
Tonka.
Which is Tonka right here on the left.
And there's Tonka and VTEC.
More of Tonka. The custom wheels. Those are the same wheels they had last year. Looks like it's about the same as last year.
Yep.
Looks pretty good. And he has custom vents.
Yeah.
And then also, I think VTEC helped him.
Yes.
With did they put struts on that, or what did they?
No.
What was he? I saw an image.
I have it labeled.
There he is. He did a lot of helping out a lot of people.
Yes.
It looked like
He helped with ForeScan.
There you go.
He did that with a couple of vehicles to add. I want to say something with the Copilot 360.
Well, there you go.
He could probably tell us if he's still in here.
And Mabsim too. He's pretty good with that too.
Yep, they were helping out together. So I think Mabsim was reading out the codes and whatnot he needed for the ForeScan, and he was doing it.
That's pretty cool. All right.
And then
so that's a Lincoln.
VTEC.
That's VTEC. So he has, I believe, the 2.3 liter from the Corsair.
Yes.
The Lincoln Corsair and that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. So that's his engine bay right there. So you all be jealous about that.
He's tricked it out.
Yes. Yes. He's got, look at the chun splitter on the front, the fog lights down there.
He races this.
Yeah, I know. So there you go.
Yep.
There's some of the stuff he's done, and pretty cool.
So there VTEC installs diode dynamics hitch light.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So if you keep going, it'll actually show you the hitch light. So it's
right down under there by the tag. Yep.
It's a nice little square that goes in the hitch.
Pretty cool. Helping out everybody.
Yep. And there he was in the winner's parade.
There you go. Pretty
They're having
cool. So
fun.
there's that stage where they do that and they
Yep.
let the winners come through if they're here. There you go. I think we're to VTech, so we're into the V's.
Yeah.
So here's your winners. So 23 and up was Tucci. That was the Tonka, right?
Yep.
And then Kevin Dooling.
Yep.
And then Matthew Day.
Who had the flated topper.
Yes, with the blue graphics trimmer.
Yes.
And then the 2022 model year, we have
Christian,
which is the one that I chose last year, the lifted one with the tent on the top. And then, of course, VTech with his slammed Maverick, and then Lynn Kozak. And
we
I'm
did
not
get a picture of his.
Oh, we didn't get one of him? Now, Brian and Mabel, that's the guy, that's the person that was a celebrity judge and wrote an article. You got to read the article. I linked it in down below on that one as well.
Go and read his story. It's quite spectacular how everything turned out for him that weekend. Yeah,
pretty awesome. So they actually honorary gave me this last year. So it's pretty cool. So it's one of those petrol vibe things. So I have it here. I actually keep it over here. You guys usually can't see it in the live stream, but actually you guys can.
Yeah.
It's always right there. I'm usually in the way. It's like it's driving across Kansas. Anyway, so there you go. So what all you have anything like highlighted there?
Oh, I have so much.
All right, let's bring those up. And some of the people that maybe aren't with Mavericks are like, this is boring. But I'm enjoying it, and I hope you guys are too, especially those that were Carlisle that are in here. I know a lot of people like last year that were Carlisle that we went that, follow the live stream. And I wanted to make sure that, I really wish we were there this year. But anyway.
Yeah. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
So Kim says they were in the top 10, number 8, when they were told they still don't know where they ended up. Mabson says, so this is stuff that they talked about with the Ford Performance.
Okay.
2.3 liter Ford approved hood struts, so we are covered when things like the cable not working is covered. Tailgate assist that didn't lose the tie down, dual exhaust, ST in Ford Performance blue, chrome wheels, chrome package. Others said 2.3 with manual, all-wheel drive hybrid. There were conversations going on, so you didn't catch everything that was said, but he asked if there was a performance kit that we would want to put it on ourselves or have the dealer do it. He said Mustang people tend to have the dealer do it, and Focus people tend to do it themselves.
There is like a Cobb cold air intake thing that you can get through Cobb. I don't know if the Roush one works on the 2.0.
So when you're looking at a Mustang versus a Focus was your lower end that you could trick out like a Maverick is. So a lot of the Focus people were tricking out their own vehicles because it is cheaper to do so.
Yeah.
While Mustang is your higher end priced vehicle.
Yep. All right.
Mabson also said, I did ask if Ford was surprised by the response to the Maverick, and he just gave his personal take since he doesn't work in that area. Of course he thought so. We talked about how Maverick is missing higher end things that the Escape has, like power passenger seat, memory seats, and hope that they come for 25. We went over to another Maverick Truck Club members truck and showed them the DZ tailgate assist and the replacement tie down he added. They took a pic of the tie down.
Replacement tie down? Oh, okay.
We then said it would be really nice if there was a power gate option. He said they'd have to look and see if they could use one from another truck. To
be honest, that tailgate is so light. I don't see them add any kind of power tailgate. Maybe a power release, but never a power up.
Yeah. Then they spent some time talking about duals. They even thought the 2 bumper square areas would be a good outlet, but not sure what was behind it. They were discussing how they would do a replacement bumper cover valance. I said they could do it like the F-150, half notch, if not enough space to tuck it all the way up. One guy said to the other, we know where to find the Maverick to look at, probably referring to one they have back at work. He did say they are looking at things for the next model, and I said the next refresh too. Too late for 25, right? And his response was not for what we are planning for 25. So they are doing something.
So is that meaning that they're not going to do it?
Right.
They don't think is it almost like they're saying they're not going to have an ST or Lobo this year?
I don't So they are doing something. Maybe who's referring to ST Lobo or already planned accessories. Not sure, but it seemed like they were looking for ideas that could impact things sooner than later. All in all, it was a great conversation, and they were genuinely interested in what we had to say.
Cool.
So that was all of Mab Sims.
Pretty cool.
Um,
I was curious on what all that was going on. The discussions.
He also said they would want a warranty for any engine changes, which would probably mean the dealer.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have more. Kim said your interviews were a key aspect of our inaugural gathering last year. They were really valuable. She said Fast Mavericks Ivan says he'll come out to Carlisle next year with his Maverick and his custom performance parts. Yep. Brian Mavel was the judge and had his vehicle at UPR.
Yep.
Let's see. Vols44 said the Escape engine cover looks and reportedly sounds quieter on an EcoBoost Maverick. Grabber Rick is a retired DJ. Brought a ground sound system this year and rocked the tunes.
Ah, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. Everyone who registers for Carlisle Ford gets a ticket and gets to choose a prize from our sponsors. $9,000 worth of prizes this year, and enough left over to auction off the unclaimed items.
I was curious who got the Air Design fender vents.
Money raised in auction and 50-50 drawing and decal sales raises money to pay expenses. Because Kim does pay a lot of the expenses, and so she's not looking to make money off of this. She is purely trying to recoup costs.
Yeah.
So that was not a 2.3 liter in VTEX yet.
Oh, I thought so. Is it just he still got a 2.0? Oh, I thought he put the.
Yeah.
I know that Fast Mavericks trying to put 2.3s in things, and I know we kind of reached out to us on some of those, and for us, we're really big into covering the customer. So anything that's going to have Lawn McArthur performance on it, we're going to back it with a 3-year 36,000. And if the vendor we're using cannot warranty that part for 3-year 36, we will not put it on any of our builds from Lawn McArthur performance. It's just the way we are. I mean, all right. So Air Design covers there. It's just like Ford. It's a Ford accessory part, but so it will do that. Ford performance as well. So just like right now they're doing Whipple superchargers in the Mustang. It's a 3-year 36 and available for a extended warranty to 5-year. So that's the way that works. So Whipple now finally is working with. Now what you'll find is the Whipple supercharger is downgraded a little bit to be a Ford performance, because Ford Performance is going to cover it. They're going to make sure that it's not overkill, because all the Whipples usually below motors and everything. But anyway, so that's just something to think about. When you got Ford Performance name on it, you got that dependability that it's going to be a good product and it's going to be covered. So anyway,
still trying to pin down who took home your Air Design fender vents. We did attempt to keep track of who got what. Someone also donated a pair.
Oh, cool.
Vols44 says he's looking for some fender vents for Father's Day. So
are the fender vents on Ford Accessories website right now? They're supposed to be a 24 model year thing. If not, you can contact him. They do have them. In fact, he said after I did the video with the fender vents, they got a lot of emails people wanting those fender vents before it was even available. So that's how he knew how impactful that my videos are, which is why we're doing one for the Mach-E. For Jeff's Mach-E, we're doing a whole body kit for it. We've got a couple more parts to come in before we can finish that up. But yeah. Yep. All right. Anything else?
Were stickers a big thing, or are they more of a Bronco thing? They said it's more of a Bronco thing. Kim said that sponsors sent a lot of stickers. Some people love them, some don't. A lot of swapping went on. Justin asked if it costs to go. Does it cost to
register your Maverick?
To register your Maverick.
To just go to the event, it was free, right? I didn't have to. No, I did have to pay to get in.
Did have to pay.
Yeah.
But they have sales on their registration fees throughout the year, and then I think they also have ticket sales throughout the year leading up. like if you purchase in advance.
Yeah.
Did someone tell Ford engineer design team to get rid of those hideous long black candy cane roof antennas and go to shark fin antenna instead? VTech says he has the engine but hasn't installed it yet.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I was thinking.
Bridgeview asked if he wonders if the inflatable topper would work with the trifold hard top.
Hard top.
Don't
Use a
know.
trifold hard top. I don't know. I mean, is that just something that you inflate and then put on? That's what I'm curious.
Yeah.
We might do a little more research on that.
Mm.
Anyway, looked like a lot of fun. So sorry we missed it. And those that were there, I could tell they had a fun time and had some. I mean, just a great community. I mean, that's one thing I found out with like the Bronco community too. I go to these Bronco events and the communities around the Ford vehicles are just phenomenal. You know, whether it be Maverick people, whether it be Bronco people. It's just it's just pretty awesome just to get together as a around a vehicle that you drive and that I was saying that like Jeff loves his Mach-E, and there are people that are just totally against EVs, and that is one thing. But if you hopefully you have a vehicle that you enjoy to drive and that and such, and he gets in that Mach-E, he loves to drive in it.
Yeah.
He says it puts a smile on his face when he drives it. And it's not just one of the reasons he said he started looking at an EV was not that, but like he felt like with a gas engine, especially early on, learning that he just felt like it was not in control. Whereas a hybrid and such, you get a better feel of it, and you're going to go as you press the pedal. And he felt like more control in electric and a hybrid engine than he does with a gas powered engine. That's why he likes the EV, so it's just a lot more control there. And I don't know. Anyway.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. All right. Kim says that discounted registration for Carlisle through April 15th. Sign up before then and you get your credentials in the mail. That's April 15th of 2025. Making it easier to get into the show. More than 3,200 Fords at these shows.
Okay. So I'm going to post this real quick. So your mom asked earlier, the reason she said yes, it is, she had asked about the Kodiak Brown Bronco, and there never was a Kodiak Brown Bronco, and she said yes, it was. She saw one, she thinks, in Kodiak Brown. We had the MK whatever, the one that was MKT. We had one of those in Kodiak Brown. She loved that color. Most favorite color she's ever had. Had a black roof. She couldn't tell it was black because it was Kodiak Brown, but she loved that color. It is not available in the Bronco. Ragnarcon is the Bronco expert. You can tell me, was there a brown available? There's not. There never was.
You said no, but the Bronco Sport was.
Bronco Sport had did they have a Kodiak Brown? I mean, it wasn't Kodiak Brown, but was there a brown that they had?
Yeah. Maybe
that's what she saw. Some people she knows the difference between her Broncos and her baby Bronco. She likes to call them baby Broncos. In fact, she kind of can get some of those Bronco Sport people mad at her because they're like, I like your baby Bronco. It's like, be careful. Bronco Sport. Anyway, no, it's all fun. But that one, I forgot about that. That one did have the brown, didn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what she saw was a Bronco Sport.
Or someone that had a Bronco that they had painted in Kodiak Brown.
I've seen a blue that's been I saw somebody that had today they posted
I've seen a pink Bronco, and they don't sell them in pink.
Somebody had posted a then and now, and post when you first got it now, and somebody had posted a cactus gray and then a blue. I'm like, okay, either it's a vinyl or they painted it. Either way, they changed the color to blue. We did that. Remember the first, we had one of those first edition Broncos that came in. Do you remember the person that, so there was a mishap with it. It was ordered, and I don't know if the color was ordered wrong or whatever, but it came in and it was the wrong color. And so what we did was we vinyl wrapped it, all but the door handles. And so the door handles were one color and the vehicle was the other. The door handles were the color of the vehicle. Yeah. and then it was vinyl wrapped over that. So it's
So Mom
probably
said,
that's a
pretty sure it
possibility.
was a sport, but I'm still right.
Okay, Bronco Sport maybe. Bronco no.
So you just said Bronco.
Bronco Sport. Yes, maybe.
Lebo does
I forgot
that.
about
He's
that
like,
one.
oh, I saw this Bronco, and I'm like,
Bronco.
that Bronco
No.
Sport, Lebo. He's
It
like,
is.
it's the same thing.
It is. There.
It's different.
The model is called Bronco Sport, not Bronco. I like them both, but it's not a Bronco.
Did I tell you I saw like 3 Broncos at the campsite that we were staying at?
Although I tell you this, any color can be done.
Yeah.
If
I
you
was
have
sad
enough money, you can make any vehicle whatever
Any
color,
color
you want.
want.
Ours may actually be a different color at some point if we have to cover up any more scratches.
I think Mom wants Kodiak brown.
There you go. Oh, I don't, sorry. I actually wasn't a huge fan of that one, but so that one looked really good because it was
I
like
think
when
Mom
that
was a-
sun hit it, it just was beautiful. But then it looked black otherwise.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. What other questions you got? You got some more highlighted stuff.
I do. All right. Have you seen long delays on getting King Ranch F-150 Job 2 build dates scheduled? I ordered a Job 2 at the start, and I'm at priority 3.
What is the? I can tell you that production levels are a little bit lower for King Ranch, so that's why it probably will take a little longer for it to get scheduled, especially for a Job 2 one. So, I don't have that number here. I don't have it on King Ranch F-150. I was thinking 250. It shouldn't take too long, but remember, Job 2 just kind of. I mean, actually, we did get our first Pro Access tailgate in. But some of it we'll have to do again. Allocation has a lot to do with it, but also that's a lower production model or trim level, I should say. So it might take a little longer.
So we can't get Timberline Explorer.
Nope. I had kind of mentioned that, and I don't know if he's still in here or not, but I mentioned that at the end of 24 model year, I'm like, order your Timberlines because it's going away. So they actually did. They even do. Yeah, they did do Timberline in 24. But yes, I had said Timberline King Ranch were not going to be available in 25 model year, and so I kind of mentioned that ahead of time so people could get that. But yes, Explorer is not available in Timberline or King Ranch.
All right. When you use aftermarket performance equipment in your new Ford, does that void the warranty?
If it's a Ford Performance, then it does not. And a lot of your aftermarket companies, they will cover whatever they put on the vehicle. So if they put something on the vehicle, they'll cover it plus if Ford doesn't cover it, they will cover it. So like Roush with their superchargers. So if their supercharger causes the engine to blow, then whatever Ford doesn't cover, then they'll cover.
Yeah.
That's typically what they'll do. And so that's why you want to go with those companies, make sure there's a warranty on those parts if you add any aftermarket, especially the performance ones, right? So that's why going through like Ford Performance is always a good idea because they'll make sure it works with the Ford vehicle.
Yep. All right. Can you use the 220 line from your dryer after you modify it with proper plug for the Mach-E?
Yeah. So a lot of them will do that. Some of your garages will have that 240 or whatever, 50 amp, and you can use those.
Yep.
Typically.
How long does it take a completed recall to show up on the Ford website /Ford Pass?
I think like when the letter would go out is when I think it shows up on your app.
All right.
So like when we say letters are going out this week, like letters are supposed to go out the week of the 3rd. That's usually I think when they show up. Yeah. So.
Have you heard any rumors about Q&A hold on Ranger Raptors? My order has been on hold for well over a month.
Okay, so they did tell us this week that they realize that it is taking a while to get all the Rangers out. So it's not anything wrong, a quality thing. It's just they just need to get them out. They're slow in getting them out. They want to make sure every Ranger that goes out isn't going to have a problem on it. Yeah. They want a quality launch on that. It's a next gen that whatever, what are we on, 6th gen or whatever on Ranger. They want to make sure it's a good quality. So they're going to make sure every single one of these they work. They did the same thing with F-150. That's why F-150 and Ranger, they went out slowly.
That's why the Lightning came out slowly, Super Duty came out slowly, Escape came out slowly. When they refresh the model, they tend to release them very slowly to make sure that they are going to be the best that they can be.
Think back to the new Aviator when it launched. That was a catastrophe. It was terrible. The Explorer, the previous gen Explorer, when it was launched, it had a terrible launch. So they learned from their mistakes. So they want to make sure they're going to be good.
Yep.
So that's kind of what they do there. So.
All right. RagnarCon says, if I ever get a Maverick, I'm going to name it Tom Cruise.
You could rename your cruise control to Tom Cruise Control.
That's all the questions I had. Any more questions? We're at 9:25. We usually try and cut off about 9:30.
Yep.
It's been a good night of discussion.
Let's say East Coast. Those people in Philadelphia, it's 10:30 now. There, and I'm out of beverage too, so it's time.
I'm out of both of my drinks, so
all right. Anyway,
can't get any more.
Yep. Well, hopefully you guys enjoy this and along with this. And there were several people in here. 10:25 Eastern. Is that what I said? Anyway, it's hope you guys enjoyed that. I mean, it looked like a lot of fun and gathering. And speaking of, events and such, we need to come up with a name, so we kind of need everybody's help, but we are doing a meetup with us. We're doing August. What's the weekend?
August 1st. Sorry.
I don't know. In August, the first weekend in August, we're doing a Friday meetup with us and drive.
So the dates for the meetup are the 2nd and the 3rd.
So the 2nd will be the YouTube meetup with us. We're going to go on a drive. Doesn't matter any vehicle. We're not limiting it just to Mavericks. But then every month we do a Cars and Coffee. So that Cars and Coffee will be done at our dealership on our lot. Cars and Coffee is always open to any vehicle. But what we're doing this year is different clubs coming each week. So this week, or each month, I should say. This month we had the Hot Rod Club of Salina that brought theirs. So if you remember, you saw the lot walk and those vehicles. That's why you saw so many of those different hot rod vehicles. But the month of August will be Mavericks. So we're going to post it on a Maverick Truck Club and everything else that we're doing, a special meetup for those in the Midwest, or anybody wants to come from wherever with your Mavericks. That's great. But if you don't have a Maverick, but you still want to come and see the Mavericks or hang out with us, full day of hanging out with us on a Friday, as well as Saturday, Cars and Coffee will be hanging out with you too, as late, we need to that day, not necessarily need to, but want to. And then, also members that are coming too, we'll do a special dinner for the members in the evening, Friday evening as well in there too. So just planning a weekend, but we need to call it something other than just a meetup.
Like the YouTube community weekend featuring the Maverick meetup.
Yeah. So anyway,
because we want to keep that, like we had the first annual, second annual, third annual.
We do want
to keep that, but we want like a community weekend so that way everyone feels welcome to come, because it's not just about the Mavericks, it's more about the community that our YouTube channel has brought together. Yeah,
and they're talking about hotels. We'll get something figured out there.
I'm
we have a lot of hotels.
In contact.
We have a lot of hotels. You should find out the one that Scott's wife is manager at.
Oh.
See if that would help. I don't know.
Oh, I know which one it is. I will.
So, anyway, so we'll get something figured out for those that want to.
Because I've been playing phone tag with the other. With the other one I've been trying to get with. Yep.
And there is if those that want to camp, there's a KOA on off the highway. Are there any other campgrounds? Oh, there's a lot of campgrounds between Junction and here.
Yeah.
I've seen them. There's a lot of highway ones. There's one not too far away that's right off the road.
If you don't mind a 45-minute drive into town, Canopolis has some great campsites.
Yes, Canopolis. Anyway, but there you go.
All right, I have 2 questions before we head out. When can we order a Maverick? You can order one, but find a dealership that has allocations. And I see here you said 2025. We do not have information on that yet.
We don't know when we can order them yet. So if a dealer's saying I'm taking your order, they're not taking an order at this point. It's just you're just
Yep.
taking a a pre-order in a sense. We don't even have order guides yet. So once we get order guides, we'll give you more information. But we assume again. So here's basically how we look at this. We know production is going into October. So they told us for 24 model year that it was going to be a 13-month production run. It started in October. So 13 months would go into November. So with November probably being the start of production, usually they'll schedule 2 months in advance. So that's October, September, and then they'll usually open up the order banks a month before that. So November, October, September, August. So you're probably looking at around August 1st or so, somewhere around there. I'm not giving an official date. Now, I'm not saying Tim said they're opening out August 1st. I'm not saying that. I'm saying probably sometime around there is when we could expect it based on information that we've gathered about 24 model year. Knowing when production is going to go into and backtracking from there is my estimation of how I could try to figure when I think it'll open up for Bronco Sport and for the Maverick. So that's my take on that. Bronco will be later than that because we know Bronco production didn't start until December, January. So with that, Bronco production will probably go into November, December, probably December. So we know Bronco will probably be a month after Bronco Sport, probably be September-ish. Expedition probably around the same time range as Bronco Sport is what I assume. We might be putting in an order for an Expedition possibly to replace ours. What else is coming up? I feel like there's another model that is going to be refreshed. Is it just those?
You guys do it, what, every 2 years?
3.
Every 3?
So 22 is a new gen, a next gen. And then so 25 is a refresh.
Okay.
So we looked at that last week, or maybe it was Friday we looked at that. But there's some images of the new Expedition grill. I'm liking it. I can look of it, and the new dash, which I think is cool. You seen that?
Yeah.
With the same screen as
basically
all of them are getting the same screen, folks. And whether you like it or not, about every vehicle is going to get the 13.2 inch screen with the 4 digital experience more than likely. So, but
they don't have it now. When they refresh, they
will. So there you go. All right. I think that's it.
Okay.
Thank you guys very much for joining us. Hope you had a great evening with us. And other than that, I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
All right. Hope you guys have a great week. Stay positive. Be kind to one another.
And be kind to yourself.
And we'll see you later.